What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the conversation, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about today in the venue of sports. But most important one was definitely the fact that the title is now definitely in Arsenal's hands. Hope everyone, real quick before I even get into that, hope everyone's okay. Appreciate everybody stopping by for the conversation today. Big up my guy Waffle Don. Waffle, I think I got you on as a mod, but still learning this shit, so I don't know if I got you on there, but I will be putting the link out here in a little bit if you want to hop on, my guy. You're always welcome at my channel, my guy. Everybody who hasn't, sub and like to the Waffle Don. He's the guy, man. He's nothing short of a legend. He's my guy. But yeah, man, let's get into it. Arsenal, 7 points clear. Obviously, Manchester City is a game in hand, but really don't give a shit at that point because even with the win, they're still 4 points behind. The game was terrible against Brighton. The game was terrible. We got lucky with a couple of calls, but at the same time, it is what it is. Real quick, my screen looks a little. Give me 1 sec here. All right, that looks better. But yeah, it's another day, another $1.50. Arsenal's got one hand on the title. With what went on yesterday, I mean, it was what it was. The game wasn't a great game. It was actually a real shitty game. Fell asleep for about 5 minutes here and there during the game. And it was what it was. But yeah, City fell. City deserved some calls in that game against Nottingham Forest. There's nothing getting around that. But at the end of the day, shit happens. Happens every single season. Teams get lucky. You know, the teams that are the teams that go on to win, they force their own luck. And sometimes it happens like that. Big up Quaja. Big up Chike. Big up to my guys that are stopping in. I'm going to put the link out here. You know what? Fuck it. I'll put it in right now. But at the end of the day, you guys are more than welcome to hop on if you want. But at the end of the day, Arsenal got the job done in a very difficult place to a team that has been a thorn in our side and has gotten results against us in the past few years. So it was a much, much needed victory. And yeah, we've gone 7 points clear. Set piece ole ole, as people are calling us. And you know what? It is what it is, but fuck them. If we're going to shithouse our way to a title, I'll take it. It is what it is. I'm not too concerned by it at that point. I think, listen, nobody's changing. Nobody's changing their tactics. The freedom for Gyökeres and everything else is all bullshit. It's not happening. So we're going to play this way till the end. Obviously, there's a Carabao Cup for us to play for as well. So right now, as I've said for the last couple of weeks, 2 trophies mandatory with everything that's going on. And it is what it is. Listen, Aston Villa, who I had a lot of love for, is falling apart. They've fallen now to 4th. They've allowed Manchester United to jump them. And Chelsea, a much-needed win against Aston Villa to close the gap to 3 points. You know, so a lot of stuff going on in the Premier League. Look, I already got my guys on here.
Thank you for having me.
What's going on, guys?
How you doing?
Good. Listen, I'm doing good now because you guys dropped the fucking ball against Nottingham Forest. But
yeah, that was horrible.
I'm feeling pretty good. Listen, I don't know if you watched the Arsenal game at all. I'll start with you, Chico. I watched the highlights of the Man City game, and like I've been saying all year, I've been saying this since Waffle had me on his show the first time in October. This ain't the same City team.
Nope.
You know, I had too many people I heard chirping about, Reiners is going to be the replacement for De Bruyne or fucking Gundogan. Sorry, just shows you don't watch football because he was dog shit in Serie A unless he had a one-off good game. Reiner's trajectory was 3 good games, 5 bad games.
Jesus Christ.
You know, so I didn't see what the whole thing was as far as with him. Foden still hasn't gotten back on the form yet. He's about to hit about 2 years now of bad form, which he's a whole nother conversation to be had about. But overall with City, do you think the race is still there? Or do you think that was the start of the end of City's chances? Because for me, now the fact that we've got, even if you guys have a game in hand, either way, it's a 2-game scenario where even if we win all of our games going up to the Etihad and we lose, we're still ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
So it becomes a situation where it's still the first fighter that's got to blink. And right now, City's showing that they're going to blink again before Arsenal is, even with Arsenal shithousing their way the way that they have. What did you think on the City game, and what's your opinion on this title race so far? And Macy, I'll come to you right after Chike.
Yeah, the game was horrendous. 2 goals, 2-1, conceded goal pretty much right at the end. I just don't see how we're going to win this league because defensively we just don't look the same. Rodri's back, which has been great for us, but yeah, defensively is how we're just not going to win the league, because defensively we're just not it. And that's why that's the main advantage. That's the big advantage that Arsenal have. However, Arsenal don't score a lot of goals, so that's why I can kind of sit back and say, like, okay, we're 7 points behind. Arsenal, there may be times, actually there will be times that Arsenal will go behind and they're going to need to score goals. But the only issue I have with Arsenal is that they don't score goals. So if there's a situation where they go behind, I don't see how they're going to score 2-3 goals in, a certain amount of time to get them over the line. So City have been in this situation before. If you remember, in 2011, 2012, we were 8 points behind Man United, and we won it on the last day. So I'm not giving up, just like I'm not going to give up with the UConn Huskies. I'm not giving up hope. So I think there's still a chance for us.
Yeah. Well, we'll come to that a little later. Macy.
Yeah.
Macy got huge break in the game with City and Nottingham Forest. Obviously, our game was absolutely diabolical. I mean, I'm sorry. People like to talk about Arteta, this, that, and the third. You can get Diego Simeone. Diego Simeone will play better football with this team than Arteta, so it's just a shit show right now with what we're doing. But what did you think of the game, and do you think that we have one hand on the trophy, or are you still a little suspect? Are you still not convinced?
Well, I'm a bit okay with the title, but I'm still a bit worried that Man City could still catch us, because for me, like, it's not over yet, because we're still in March and the season's not over yet, because there's still a chance that Man City could still find their way back into the title race. But for me, against Brighton, we were very lucky to have left the IMAX with a point, because for me, the one guy that was basically our man of the match was Gabriel Magalhaes, because without him, we would have lost that game. He was carrying that defense yesterday, and big up to Gabriel. He's been our main centre back, and he's been playing superbly well with Saliba next to him. But after we found out about Saliba's injury, we had no choice but to start Mosquera up front. And yesterday, Mosquera looked a bit sus. Like, the amount of times he was looking a bit rash, and he was lucky not to be sent off. And Gianni, remember I told the fan base, I said that I don't rate Mosquera at Valencia because he is a very rash centre back. But all the fan base, they said to me, "Oh, but Macy, you're just a negative, stupid boy. You don't watch La Liga." And I said to them, "Who the fuck are you calling a stupid boy? I'm 25 years old. I know every single league in the world, and I watch all of them. So don't count your chickens out." Mosquera was very, very lucky not to be off the pitch. But credit to Arteta for taking him off for Calafiori. But Calafiori was even worse than Mosquera. And even though I don't rate Calafiori highly, he did at least defend for his life. But come on. But all in all, we got the job done. We're still nearly there, but we've only got 9 games left, Gianni. We've got to play Everton next after we play Mansfield and Leverkusen in our cup games. Then we've got to play Man City in the League Cup final. Then again at the Etihad, and then we've got a lot of games to play until the end of May, and then we will see if we win the Premier League or not. But I'm still a bit convinced that Man City could still find a way back into the title race.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of at the point now to where I think we got one hand on the Premier League and we got one hand on the Carabao. I've been saying it since October. It's Arsenal versus Arsenal is the more important battle, because I don't trust City. I mean, listen here. I've never bought into the hype for Ruben Diaz the entire time, even when they first got him. I think he's
Really?
No, not for me. Man.
Wow.
Not for me. Plenty of better.
Wow.
I mean, Ruben Diaz for me, like when he first came to Man City, he was the best center back. But
That's what I said.
This generation of Diaz, this is not the Diaz I know. So
No,
if Man
100%.
City need to move forward, they need to sell Diaz in the summer. Because for me, I just don't understand why Man City keep hold of their old players like Diaz, Bernardo Silva, Rodri, like all these players that have been at the football club for far too long. They need to be moved on. I'm happy they've moved on De Bruyne and Gundogan, but they still got a hold of Bernardo, and there's been reports of Pep giving him a new contract.
Yeah, that's not good. Bernardo doesn't even want to be there.
Bernardo don't deserve a new contract. Bernardo's been fucking dragging ass for the
He doesn't
last.
even want to be there. That's the bigger issue.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hasn't Bernardo Silva been in talks to leave City for like the last 4 years?
5 years.
4 or 5 years. I mean, there you go. I mean, listen, all full disclosure, no, I've never said that Diaz is that great of a center back. I never thought he was that good of a center back.
I'm very surprised.
If you look at the years that he was there, Diaz does the exact same thing that Sergio Ramos does, and he wasn't even on the same level as Ramos. He tries to be able to do that amazing catch up and run back and stop you. When a lot of goals, when you look at when Diaz came in and they still didn't get over the line in the Champions League, a lot of those goals come from his side. Same with, and the other thing is he's not quick enough on his feet to cover the ground where John Stones leaves your guys is open. For me, I think John Stones and Diaz are two of the most overrated center backs in my personal opinion. I think John Stones,
yes. John Stones is
a better fucking midfielder than he is. When he played in that midfield in that formation with that 3-2-4-1, when you guys won the treble, he looked way better as a midfielder than a fucking defender.
Amazing.
Yeah, I think, but even so, he's an injury-prone guy.
He is, unfortunately.
My whole thing with this is not only is it huge to try to get over and ties into what Arteta Hate was saying, and big up Arteta Hate for stopping by. Obviously, I don't think we can get through another season with playing the football that we're playing, especially because I think with the amount of people complaining, both pundits, coaches, and everything else, I think there are going to be some rules that the Premier League puts into play to stop this corner kicking and everything else that's there to a certain degree. Big up Taryn. Big up BBK Sports every time. Hope all is well with you, my guy.
Big up Taryn.
I think City, I honestly think there's talk that Guardiola's walking out at the end of this year. And unless they're going to drop another $500 million in one transfer season, which I don't think is going to happen, especially
I don't think so either.
With all this talk of the charges, even though I don't even believe in these stupid fucking charges at this point, because there's plenty of other shit that the Premier League has pulled that's illegal that they don't even deserve to be the one singled out at this point, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, I think that if Arsenal could find a way to figure out how to play open attacking football again, we may be able to try to stretch this far beyond not far, but beyond this 1 year of winning trophies. I think City's going to have way too much work to do on their team coming into next season to where I'm not, and especially, I know everybody wants to hype up Luis Enrique, and rightfully so with what he did at Barca and what he's done at PSG. I don't think Luis Enrique is going to come into this City team and instantly change everything to where this team he's going to win the league on the first year. I think us and Liverpool would have to fumble the bag real hard in order for that to happen, because one, like what you said, Macy, about letting some of the older guys go.
Yeah.
Bernardo Silva's got to go. Bernardo Silva, for me, is culpable for one of the reasons why City won't win the league, because this ain't the same Bernardo Silva from 3 years ago.
But how much of that is him playing for Pep? What if Luis Enrique came in and then we saw a completely different Bernardo Silva?
Well, for me, the best Bernardo Silva was on the wing. I don't like Bernardo Silva in the middle. I thought he always looked better as a winger than he did in the middle. And because of Pep, he's run him into the ground to where I don't care who the manager is. But He's not going to do what you need him to do in the midfield. I think you need a whole. I think the midfield. I mean, listen, Rodri. Yeah, he's come back, but he's not the same, and you don't know what's going to end up happening with him if he ends up staying or he wants to go back to play in Spain because he could play longer in Spain than staying in England. So if Rodri goes, Nico Gonzalez is no title-winning number 6. Sorry to tell you, unless he makes huge strides to change. And you need 2 new midfielders. Because for me, my whole thing is this. If you had Nico Gonzalez and another solid, more so 6, but can also play the 8 midfielder, I think you guys should be going back to your 4-2-3-1 and put Foden as a 10. Foden as a wing is a lost cause.
Yeah,
he's a lost cause.
That's non-existent.
He's a lost cause. He ain't doing what everybody thinks he is doing. And again, as I said for this season, you guys are showing why you guys miss De Bruyne and Gundogan. If De Bruyne and Gundogan are here still in their prime, not injury riddled Gundogan and De Bruyne, this isn't even a contest. City's winning the league. Like we're getting lucky because I mean, again, you're a City fan. I don't tell you, but
this league is horrendous.
How many last minute goals did De Bruyne and Gundogan score? How many last minute assists did Gundogan? Yeah, so that's
21-22. The last day of the season, Gundogan scored the game, though the winner against Aston Villa. I can remember it like it was yesterday.
Exactly. That's my point. You guys don't have that output no more in the midfield, which is why you need to rebuild your midfield. You need to find another center back to pair Mark Gahey up, which with the conversations of who's already talked about on the market, who's linked to City, you're talking 100 million for Bastoni. So
Jesus Christ.
That's what I mean by, unless you guys are going to do a madness and drop another 500 in one transfer season, I don't think you guys are going to be able to fix everything all at one go, and there's still going to be questions involved. Liverpool, I mean, the question is who Liverpool gets in as a manager and how much more are they going to spend, because Liverpool historically does not spend money like that. So my guess is Liverpool may spend 100. They may get 3 players added to this team, and then that's it. And then
the bigger question is what happens with Van Dijk and Salah and those guys, because they're
that's the other question. So listen, Salah's legs are gone.
No, he's never had.
No, this whole myth about him being a footballer is he's just not about it. He's just not about it. Everybody's figured out. Listen, I've always said this. Jurgen Klopp should be praised to high hell what he got out of Mo Salah, because Mo Salah was dog shit at fucking Rome. Everybody knew how to defend him. All the guy had was pace. He got around the one fullback, you stick a center back right next to him. Over and done with. Salah made fucking Calafiori look good in the early game of the year when Salah was getting bodied by Gabriel and fucking Calafiori in that game. There's nothing special about Salah. He's a pace merchant.
Yep.
Yeah.
He can finish goals. He can finish goals. He can find assists when given opportunity to, but it's not like this guy is the next coming of fucking Maradona or some shit like some people have tried to hype him up to be. I just don't. Salah, it is what it is with that. That's why I've kind of not understood why they didn't move. Like for me, I would have, if you're going to go with, I would have much rather seen Salah play closer to the striker like he did last year, rather than going back out to the wing. I mean, Slot's got to go either way because Slot fucked this whole thing up. I mean, you won the league. As much as people like to say that they don't like the guy, Szoboszlai, McAllister, and Gravenberch was the best midfield in the league last year, which is why they won the league. They were the best midfield in the league, and they were the most consistent team in the league, which is the reason why, which is the reason why they went well. You tried to change all that, which was the main reason why they won. You tried changing that, put in Wirtz in, when Wirtz has never been a good number 10 in the first place. He's better off the left wing than he is as a number 10, which is where I thought he should have been playing. And you fucked the whole thing up. Slot is gone. So the same question that comes in for Liverpool, the same with City, is you got to adjust what you have, and you still got to get a new coach. Arsenal, the only question is, is if the league comes in and changes the rules with everything with these corner kicks and everything else, can you handle the change, or are we going to allow, if we can't handle the change, does City and Liverpool jump back into it by default because this manager can't play decent football? For me, I think that if we can change, hypothetically, because I don't know if Arteta can do it, and I really doubt it, to be honest with you, we should already be looking towards having some titles, winning next year as well, possibly even going back to back, whether anybody likes it or not. What do you think about this whole City situation, GK?
Yeah, I mean, it's clear we need a total rebuild. Who comes in is an open question because on one hand, you have the obvious choices like the Enriques and the Hansi Flicks and the attacking managers of the world. But again, you also have to think about which manager fits the identity of this City team. So there's another fit to that. The
I know
City team.
you said Simeone the last time when you were
I did
talking.
say Simeone the last time because
Shocked the
defensively
shit
we
out of
look
me.
nowhere near the team that we looked like in 2020, 2021, where defensively we were really good. So I don't know. It's a toss up to me. I mean, I think whoever we get in, I mean, we're obviously going to have to back them, but whoever we get in is going to have to be the right manager at the right time and the right situation for this current City team. And to be honest, I just don't know who that is. I really don't. Because there's so many things to
Would you
change.
take a chance on Unai Emery? If Unai Emery kept Villa in fourth, obviously, because like here's the thing with Emery, right? Emery has now basically gone from hero to possibly going to get sacked. Because if Villa doesn't stay in the first four, I don't see Unai Emery staying at Villa. I think they're sacking him. If I'm being quite honest, I don't know if I'm a City fan if I would take a chance on Emery, but then at the same time, there's no guarantee that Luis Enrique is leaving PSG. I think the only way Luis Enrique leaves PSG is if somehow PSG wins the Champions League again, which I don't think is happening.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
If he goes back-to-back Champions League victories with PSG, I don't know if the guy's going to leave unless he does that, in my personal opinion.
Or what if he does really badly this season, wins nothing, and then he comes to City and then leaves PSG? What if that happens?
I don't see Lens winning that title, if I'm being honest with you. I don't see them winning the title. I think PSG is gonna win that title. I'm not too convinced by it. I think Lens has been a fantastic story.
Sure.
But I just don't think it's going to happen. They're 4 points behind PSG. They would need a miracle for it to happen. Plus, I think Lens is still in the Conference League, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. So
makes sense.
Van de Ven, red penalty to Crystal Palace. Let's fucking go. I hope we need them to fucking go.
Wow.
We need them to go.
And I'm going to say this about Spurs. If Spurs get relegated, and I really think they're going to get relegated, they may not be in the Premier League for the next 25, 30 years.
No, I don't think it'll be that long.
I don't know, man. The championship, Gianni, I don't know. The championship's really hard to get out of. This is not just going to be like a 1 year. No, this is going to be like at least 5 years. And I'm being generous about that. I'm serious.
I don't think so. I think if Tottenham gets relegated, I think you're going to see some strings getting pulled to make sure that they go back up into the Premier League the following year. There's too much money lost with them being out. Whether anybody listen,
seriously,
brother, look at how much money and how much revenue the Premier League makes off that stadium. Who the fuck are you going to replace that with?
But even if they go to the championship.
Brother, it's too. You got to look at it like this.
Okay.
Here's the reason why I want Spurs to get relegated. It's not only because I'm an Arsenal fan. Sure. It's also because Spurs, this whole situation that they've tried creating with PSR is the English version of trying to franchise the big six teams in England, the quote unquote big six teams. Yeah. If Spurs, who are allowed to spend more money than all these other teams who are allowed to spend more money because they fall into the bracket of being protected by PSR. If it fails for one of those teams, it shows that PSR is not worthy of even being involved. And they should scrap it and allow all these other teams to take their own destiny into their hands and try to go and put a team together to compete with the Big Six. Again, that's the whole reason why we're having an issue. That's why we're seeing what's happening to Aston Villa right now. If Villa was able to go out and spend more money in this offseason and take the initiative and gamble on the Champions League money against their wages and everything else, this is an entirely different situation with Villa. They're not being handicapped. And again, the only reason why they're handicapping teams is because they don't want the people that own Newcastle, who got more money than everybody, to come in and start slapping up the fucking league with all the money they got. So that's the only reason why PSR is there. The reason why I want Tottenham to go is because PSR should be scrapped once it's gone, and it should level the playing field out to where, listen, if you want to be able to spend and take a chance, go and spend and take a chance. Fuck this stupidity. If you fail PSR, if your team goes into bankruptcy, it's on your fault. Not you shouldn't be told what. I don't think owners should be being told what to do with their club from some anonymous dickhead that's behind the scenes because they need to feel important to add some more fucking drama to the league. That's my opinion.
That's how I feel about American sports.
Huh?
That's how I feel about American sports.
Yeah, but American sports doesn't handicap you like this.
Well,
no, it doesn't.
What?
No, it
What?
doesn't. Other teams, no, they don't, dude. If a team chooses to tank, that's on them. That's not on somebody else telling them what to do. The ownership is doing that. The ownerships are the ones that decide to tank in American sports, there's not somebody behind the scenes telling them they can't do that. They're trying to figure out how to stop these teams from tanking because they're sick of these teams throwing the season away halfway through the season to try to get the supposed maybe next whoever they try to compare to in college sports across the board. It's not somebody else doing that. That's the ownership that's trying to do that. With the Premier League from jump, they're telling you can't spend a certain amount of money. Who the fuck are you to tell an owner that he can't spend any money? That's my point.
But then in the NFL, there's a salary cap. Why is there a salary cap in NFL, but yet there's an anonymous person in the Premier League or any of the other 5 leagues that say, an owner can't spend however much money because it'll blow the league apart. So that's where I struggle.
But there's a salary cap in football too. That's PSR. Again, PSR is involved with both of that because it's across the board. You can't. The rule of PSR is you can't be in more than $110 million deficit after 3 years. That is the rule for PSR. Is you cannot post more than $110 million deficit across all your books over 3 years. You have to bring in enough money to where that deficit is not there because it refreshes every 3 years. So if you're running, and again, most of these big teams are companies, so you're not going to run a company in deficit. Otherwise, the company doesn't.
I was about to say it's like return on investment where you basically
exactly.
Okay, understood.
Exactly. In the NFL, the salary cap is there. The salary cap is there only because that's also used by the players' unions, which they don't have in Europe. They don't have players' unions that have to set the cap and then have to help out with how much a player can get paid. They don't have that in Europe. It's not like, you do 7 years. If you do 7-8 years in the NFL and retire after 7-8 years and you made a squad, you get paid $800,000 till you die as your retirement pension.
Jesus.
Because there's that much money in the NFL. They ain't got that in the Premier League. They're not making enough money to do that.
That's crazy.
But Macy, for you, do you think that Arsenal's success should go into next year, or do you think this is a one-off and City and Liverpool it doesn't matter at all? City and Liverpool are going to come back because I think City and Liverpool got bigger problems than what people are saying.
Yeah, I still think in my mind, like Man City and Liverpool next season, they will go big and they will spend as much as they can to make their squad better. But for that to happen, they need to like move on some of the players. Like I said, Bernardo Silva, Ruben Diaz, Mo Salah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, they need to move them on now because they've been at the club for way too long. Same with Arsenal. We need to move on some of our players in the summer. You know, Odegaard, Trossard, Martinelli, and Kai Havertz as well. And you know what Babs had? Babs had the audacity to say that Kai Havertz, when he came on against Brighton, he was a game changer for us. Like, Babs, wake the fuck up, bruv. What did Kai Havertz actually do? He only had one shot on target, and there was one point he had the ball, but then one Brighton player tackled him. So that was the only thing Havertz did. So why are you saying that Havertz is a game changer? He is no game changer. He's somebody that holds the ball up too long and had one shot on target for us, and that was it. I just don't understand why our fan base are saying that Kai Havertz is a game changer.
Yeah, there was somebody I seen, I don't know what show it was, but was trying to say that Kai Havertz is the best overall player on the team. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? This guy's dog shit. Kai Havertz is a part of a long laundry list of players that if we go on and win the league, we need to he's one of the first people that needs to get shipped out of this fucking team for next year if we're going to continue this success. 2-1 to Palace. Let's fucking go.
Wow.
Bro, overrated.
Take that
I've
top,
been
bro.
saying it. He's another Kyle Walker at centre back. Without the pace, he's bang average, bro. Bang average. If he was that good, Spurs would not be in this mess. Along with Christian Romero as well. I think he's better than Mickey van der Ven, but not that much better.
Brother, that whole team is dog shit. Let's be honest.
The ownership's horrendous. It starts up
I
top
know.
more than anything.
No, the ownership is smart because they're fleecing the fans. They don't give a fuck.
They're doing the
It is.
Chicago Bears shit. They're doing the Chicago Bears shit on steroids.
Well, they're not as bad. They're not as bad as the Bears. The Bears are way worse.
You know what I'm trying to say, John.
They're
I know
trying
you're
to
talking
copy.
about
They're
that.
trying to copy the Bears.
We gave them Vinay, DFS sofa salesman Vinay. We gave them him. We allowed him to go to Tottenham. Why? Because he ain't fucking good enough. He is everything that Tottenham is. Shit.
Yep.
CEO, more money. You can have him, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Odegaard, he can go to Tottenham. He can play in the Championship with the Spursy. Do you know what I'm saying? You don't even have to move, bro.
Oh my lord.
I don't care. Havertz can go there as well. Madueke can go there as well. That's fine. Do you know what I'm saying? We need to get rid of all of these bummy ass players.
So if I give you
all that shit, come on, man.
so first off, big up Nat. Appreciate you hopping on, bro. Always.
No
appreciate
Nah,
worries.
great to see you.
Yeah,
Um,
big up, bro.
Nah,
Big up,
thanks,
mate.
So if I had to give you 8 players to remove from this team coming into next season, say we get it, we win the League Cup, say we win 2 trophies, I still don't think we're winning the Champions League because even though they went out, that performance that I saw Barcelona put on Atletico Madrid in that Copa del Rey second, I mean, they should have won. They should have scored 6 goals. If that Barcelona shows up against the Arsenal that we saw against Brighton, we're out the first game. We're going to be out of the competition first game, which is why I still don't think we're winning the Champions League. But if we win the League Cup and we win the league, obviously it generates a shit ton more money because then you get all the extra bonus merch and everything else. Which then means you have enough money to go back into the transfer season and buy more players and better players to replace. If I give you 8 slots, who are the 8 guys you're shipping out?
Oh, I've got to start with Nick and the Living God, bro. I've been on his neck.
Yeah, I think he's number 1 for everybody.
And even Lego Head don't rate him. Even this manager has had enough of him. That tells you everything. 240k a week.
Do you think, before you go, and I don't mean to keep interrupting you, do you think it's he doesn't rate him, or do you think he rates him, but he's trying to save his own ass by putting him out to be the guy to take the shots? Because for me,
a great
I
question.
think Odegaard, I think that's more of a situation where because let's be honest here, Eze has not played to the level that I would like him to, but it's also not his fault because he keeps bouncing from a number 10 position to an 8 position. He keeps fucking with that formation, which is why Eze's not kicking up to where he should be. But I think Odegaard is more of the bulletproof vest for Arteta. He's pushing him out to the forefront to take the hits because Arteta knows that his ass is on the line this year if we don't get over the line. So
Mhm.
I don't know if it's so much if he doesn't rate Odegaard. I think it's more so he's using Odegaard to deflect all the shit that could come his way.
I think there's a part of that, but for me, I just think ultimately he's just had enough of his shit. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, it's like the whole when the apprentice turns on the master kind of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Darth Vader turning on Palpatine and that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Loyal for so long, and then he gets picked up and chucked over the edge. And Arteta don't want that. He sees that coming because he's smarter. He's smarter than Odegaard. Whatever we say about Arteta, he's smarter than Odegaard. Do you know what I'm saying? Big up Suge, innit? Like, it is what it is. But for me, yeah, either way, yeah, of course. Whether it's Odegaard, Saka to a much lesser degree, like, you know, he's going to have them shields in front of him, but that's not going to be good enough this season.
Mhm.
We've got an easy route in the Champions League, but I agree with you. I don't think we'll win it because I've even said this as well. When Bodo Glimt beat Inter, yeah, I was like, we better not face Bodo Glimt. And this fucking manager decides to put Odegaard in against a Norwegian team to prove better than Haag, innit? He's going to get destroyed. His ass is going to get destroyed. Prison set.
Hog will run right through
Sack
his
him on
ass.
the
Exactly, bruv. But to be honest, we'll probably won't see that, even though we'll probably end up playing them because I think Bodo will beat Sporting. I don't know if you agree, but look, I wouldn't take
If there
Bodo
was an
lightly.
upset,
I would not take them lightly.
if there was an upset to predict, that's one of the upsets that I would predict.
I don't even think that is an
I think
upset.
I think the other upset potentially is going to be Galatasaray on Liverpool because Turkey's not an easy place to go.
No.
I mean, you see it with the fans over there; they're fucking nuts.
And they've already beaten
And
them.
Liverpool as a
I think
team
they've
is
already
just
beaten them.
is horrendous.
Yeah, they've
Well,
already beaten
the defenses,
Yes.
and again, even though Juventus got back into the game, 3-1 Palace. Let's fucking go relegate these.
Wow.
They're going down, bro. I've been saying it. They're going down. Even if we don't win the league, it's a win-win for me. Because then
He said Spurs fans are
Oh, Jesus
yes,
Christ.
leave the stadium, bro. Your team
Love
is
love
Bro,
to see it. Get the
you got
fuck
Wait.
the offside goal from Sarah, apparently, and then rears its ugly ass head back once again for the Renegade Master. Been saying it.
And
Wait.
Tone, real quick.
Wait.
It
Can
wasn't
I ask
impressive.
Nat? I want to ask you a question real quick.
Go ahead, GK.
If Spurs get relegated, how many years do you see them realistically being in the championship? Because Gianni is saying 1 year. I don't see that.
1
I
year.
really don't.
Too much money. Too much money.
To be honest,
Too much money.
I kind of agree, Chike, with Gianni because they've got ridiculous money and they'll be capped with the fans that are allowed to attend during the championship because of the rules and all of that. But don't be surprised if it's 2 years. They won't be in the championship for that long. Newcastle twice. Remember Newcastle?
Yep.
And they didn't have the money that they do now. Do you know what I'm saying? They went straight
No,
back
they
up.
don't. They're
won the
massive now.
championship both times. Do you know what I'm saying? So don't be surprised if they go straight back up. But if they go down, they're fucked, innit? No more Champions League. The best they can hope for in the next 5 to 10 years is Conference League. Maybe.
Well, that's what I mean.
And even then, I don't think they'll.
Well, that's what I mean. That's why I'm surprised people are saying 1 year because the championship is really hard to get out. Jesus, everyone's
but when you have that much
play in the
money,
championship.
Brother, look how big that fucking stadium and how much money the Premier League loses. The Premier League, listen, the Premier League has propped Tottenham up far beyond what they are as a fucking team. Let's be honest here. Tottenham is not a Big Six team in England to begin with. Everton's a bigger club than them.
Yep.
Aston Villa's a bigger
Aston Villa
club.
won a
than them.
Champions League.
Leeds
100%.
United, you could argue to a certain
Leeds United. Brother, the Premier League is trying to do in England what the NFL does here in America.
Oh,
You
Jesus
can't
Christ.
succeed at that with one of the biggest stadiums available to put asses in seats and to make money in the second division. You can't do that. That's why I'm telling you, they're going to do one. I think they do one. I think they do 1 year. You bounce them back up. They all get that huge bonus of getting into the Premier League, and then Tottenham will stay up. They're going to be a bottom half team for probably 5 years after they come back up from the lower level because they're not going to have Champions League football and everything else for quite some time. And the European money that you get off of the Conference League and Europa League isn't enough to finance that team. So you're going to have to see what ends up happening. But for me, I don't think Spurs go in there for that long. 2 years tops in the championship.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just before you bring Manny in, was it start with Nick and the Living God? Havertz is another one. I get rid of Jesus. I get rid of Marino. I don't care if he's injured. Get rid of his ass. Calafiore. Are we on like 6? Am I on 5 or 6?
Martinelli, would you say?
Martinelli and Trossard. What is that, 7? Is that 7? And then it's like one more. I would.
Calafiore, first of all,
David Raya?
Calafiore is an embarrassment for even doing the same thing that Lukaku did, for saying he's already planning on going back to Rome. Get the fuck out the club.
Yeah, he's got.
Out of club.
I mean, he's got 120 grand a week. 120 grand a week, and you got the fucking nerve, jerk off, innit? Wanker. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you can see this, Wanker. That's what he is. That's exactly. If you want to leave, leave. No one's going to miss your ass. Do you know what I'm saying?
I'd take Fabio Vieira with what he's been doing in Germany for one more year over Martin Odegaard. I'm sorry. I'm getting rid of Martin Odegaard.
In a heartbeat. When Italians don't rate you as a whole, not even just certain, Italian people, but when Italians as a whole don't rate you, you're dusted, bruv. How dare you have that fucking nerve to say, oh, I'm going to leave because I haven't been playing. Bruv, you've been injured for most of this season, bruv. You're more injury prone than our injury prone Tierney, who we should have kept, by the way, killing it at fucking Celtic. Sure. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So in terms of, like, just to finish it up, like, the only other player that I would probably get rid of...
David Raya?
Ben White, because like Ben White,
Ben White. I was thinking of David Raya, but I think Ben White is spent for me. Like we need a right back to take the pressure off of Timber, because I rate him behind.
I would keep Ben White, but put him back in his proper position as a center back because he can't run no more. I'd rather him be.
That's an issue.
We play a back 3, John.
Yeah, but when we bought Ben White as a centre back, and he was all over the place at centre back. So Arteta decided to transfer him to a right back, and it worked very well. And when Timber came into the right back role, we haven't seen Ben White since. So that's why it would be nice if Ben White finds another football club, in my mind.
Yeah, I think it's at that point, because David Raya, the only reason why we'll keep David Raya, because as a number 2, I think he would be class in it. But as a number 1 elite level goalkeeper, I don't rate him. And he's too small as well. I would rather go out there in the summer and get an Oblak, someone of that ilk. Do you know what I'm saying? Number 1, a bit bigger, a bit taller, more experience, more presence. Because David Raya, for me, as a number 1, I think there's certain attributes that I rate, but as a whole, for a number 1 at Arsenal Football Club, he ain't the guy. Do you know what I'm saying? But I will keep him as second choice, and then maybe get rid of Kepa as well. Look, Johnny, you know me, brother. There's a lot of players I get rid of. Do you know what I'm saying?
I hear it. I think Raya for me is so far down. I think Raya is so far down for me, because the one thing I will say about Raya this year, I think Raya has come under question more so because of the stupidity of the manager than Raya. The one thing we got to give him with how defensive we've played this year, Raya's been a hell of a shot stopper this year. He's been a hell of a shot stopper this year. And for me, if you keep him in the fucking box and not doing all this dumb shit, I think he's fine. I think there's so many other positions that we need to look at over David Raya.
That's why I decided to get rid of Ben White, because as much as he's been brilliant for us as right back, for me as a centre back in a back 2, like maybe could a different manager get more out of him? Maybe, but to be honest, the fact that he can't run anymore and he's not what he was before, like out of Raya and Ben White, I'd rather get rid of Ben White. It's sad to say, but again, this manager's run his ass into the ground.
Yeah,
like David Raya's been great for us, but I don't see him as number 1. You guys all know this. I'd rather an Oblak as number 1. Keep David Raya as number 2. sell Kepa. We could get good money for him. I don't care if it's 1 year. And we have Setford as number 3, you know, competing and learning under like an Oblak and even David Raya to a certain degree. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, we need competition of quality, not just depth in numbers. We need quality, but we also need balance. And I think with Timber being the only right back, other than Salmon, who this manager doesn't play because he doesn't rate the youth, he kills the youth. Do you know what I'm saying? He's doing
that's going to be an issue. That's going to be an issue that needs to get addressed by Berta coming into next season, because I fully expect and want Miles Lewis. I want Miles Lewis, Skelly, Dowman, and Ethan Wanyeri to get big time minutes next year. To be complete rotation. Suj, first time on the channel, man. What's going on, brother? I hope everything's all well.
I figure, listen, I haven't been on the channel yet. I was about to go to the gym, but I thought the fucking gym can wait. I need to come and make an appearance on Gianni's channel. Who needs a gym anyway, right? Jesus, listen, let me just stay fat. Really, come on.
Suj, no. I can't live without the gym. You and I are at loggerheads already, brother.
I actually do need to gym. 7 weeks in India, I need to go back to the gym. So, but I just thought I would come and say one thing. Okay, this Martinelli hate, whilst I agree, I would keep him. There are other players that we need to sell before we get rid of Martinelli.
So, Suj, I'll give you the same thing that I gave to Nat, and I'm going to go around for everybody. If I gave you 8 people on the roster right now to get rid of coming into next season to better the team, who are your 8 people?
Okay. Odegaard.
Okay.
Marino.
Yep.
Trossard.
Yep.
Then I would get rid of Ben White. I like Ben White, but injury prone, he has to go.
Yep.
Calafiori.
Yep.
Yeah.
Zubimendi.
Really?
Zubimendi has to go.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the last two, controversial, because that's how I'd like to go. Bukayo Saka. And the last one is the most controversial, William Saliba.
No Havertz, bro. No Havertz. You're keeping Havertz.
Okay, sorry. So yes, before those two, Havertz. I forgot about Havertz because I don't rate Donkey at all. But yes, Havertz is also there.
Is Saliba more of a cash in reason?
Correct.
Before the injuries pile up?
Yes.
Okay.
I rate William Saliba, but I rate Gabriel more. And when there are clubs that are already wanting Saliba, and if he stays 2 more years under Mikel Arteta, we can't sell him.
I hear it.
Absolutely. Before you go on to the next one, John, you sorry to cut in, I actually hear the Bukayo Saka because I was kind of thinking like maybe, but at the end of the day, I think it's like Bukayo Saka just needs a rest. He will never be the same player, but I think if he gets like 4 or 5 months rest, I know that sounds drastic, but if we rest him for 4 or 5 months and he becomes a bit part player, I know it's not great for the wages that he's on and that, but he comes for Max Dowman, he comes in for like Ethan. You know, if they're struggling or if they're getting a few niggles here or there, at least there's a bit of experience in it. Whereas with the rest of them, it's just like I think there's no turning back, and we can get better and take the likes of Ben White, like you mentioned, Suj, and Havertz. Obviously, Odegaard is gone anyway. Calafiori is gone anyway.
My personal opinion, off of what Suj said, I think Saka's got 2 years. Either you hit this world class level that everybody's talking about, or you need to get the fuck on.
He needs to be rested, brother. He needs to be rested. He needs to be rested. I don't want him to go to the World Cup, but he probably will.
He's going.
He's going.
Yeah, he's going to the World Cup. Declan Rice is going to the World Cup. Yeah,
they're both going. Going. It's sad. It's mad.
And that's my issue with Saka is if he's not world class already, with the amount of injuries that he has, he's just going to get worse. And you can't have someone on 300,000 a week getting worse and spending more time on the bench.
Agreed.
And we have like Ethan that they can bring up in that spot.
Yep.
So we have probably maybe Dauman as well, who can go into, maybe not yet, but give them a couple of years under a new manager. We have adequate cover. And look at the left side.
Yep. Oh, left wing's
That-
the most important position we got to get in the offseason.
Correct.
Left wing's the
I mean,
most
I
important
would,
we got to get.
me personally, I will keep Martinelli as backup. Martinelli is only a backup,
Mhm.
but that's my favoritism to Martinelli. Or did I say Jesus? Because I want Jesus going as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
There's a lot of players, man. There's a lot of players, bro. But I think if we get rid of this manager, there's less players I'm getting rid of. Do you know what I'm saying? The obvious ones on the highest wages, I would get rid of. With Saka, I thought, do you know what? A different manager with rest, I think there's a lot more you could get out of him, but not as much as was, projected. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, give him a couple of years, to rest, recover, and all of that. Be bit part. Do you know what I'm saying? And a proper manager will rest him. Do you know what I'm saying? You think Carlo Ancelotti's going to play him? Like, let's say, for argument's sake, we bring him in the summer.
No.
You think he's going to play Bukayo Saka? Absolutely not. He's not going to be playing for months. And then he's going to bring him back.
A proper manager knows that Wanyeri and Dauman are more capable of going next year.
Exactly.
Along with Lewis Skelly. That's the thing. I want them three guys to all get proper minutes next year because Dauman, Dauman at 16 is probably our most technically gifted player
100%
on the team.
100%.
And
him and Ethan, they're our best players. They're going to be our best players.
Yeah, that's what I think.
For sure.
And the reason I
Giannis,
said
can I
so
ask you all a
supplementary.
question?
One real quick, you guys. Hold on.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go on. Answer the question. Go on. I'll wait.
You
Go
sure?
ahead, you guys.
Okay.
You go on.
I asked Darren this the last time, and I think I've asked Gianni this as well. And I actually want to ask Nat and Manny and Macy this. Would you rather Arsenal win absolutely nothing this year, but know you're gonna get a different manager, or Arsenal win the treble and Arteta gets a 5-year contract extension or gets an extension?
Trouble.
Trophies, man. Trophies.
Trouble.
Wow.
Because if we fall off next season, which we will, there'll be question marks anyway. We can get rid of him.
He'll be done.
He'll be done. He don't have to see out that contract. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not kind of it's or rather than those options, but like there's loopholes in it. There's loopholes in the whole.
It is because you got to look at the money. Look at it from the financial perspective. You take Saka, Jesus, Odegaard, Havertz, and Saka, Jesus, Odegaard, and Havertz. The four of them combined, I think, is 1.1 billion pounds a week in a salary. Not million. I'm sorry, 1.1 million a week is those guys. You're talking 40. You're talking nearly 50 million a year in salary. Just those four players. It's you can't. If you have that much money going through just four players and you completely fall off next year, because I firmly believe the referees association, everything else is going to stop all this nonsense with the corner kicks next year. There's too many people complaining about it. Everybody is bitching about it. You got all these fucking legends that are talking about they don't want to watch the Premier League anymore. I mean, when you got Ruud Gullit coming out saying I don't even enjoy watching the Premier League anymore, and a lot more people are now.
Damn.
Yeah, when you got a lot of people coming out talking about we much rather watch Serie A, which is supposed to be the forgotten league right now, or La Liga, because of the better quality of football, it's going to take its hit to where these teams are not going to be able to afford to keep paying all this money out. So either way, it's going to affect. I don't think if they change the rules next year, Arsenal's not going to be able to change it. It's going to be a rude awakening. And I think the manager, the same thing with what you see with Slot, I think ends up happening to us next year if they change the rule for corner kicks. I see us fighting. You're going to talk about a team that just 5 guys make almost a $50 million payroll for a year. Now add everybody else on. You're talking 100 some. You're talking close to 100 some odd million. if you get stuck to where you go drop down to Europa League or Europa Conference League, it's going to bankrupt the fucking team for a season. Which is why he's going to end up going forced.
That's why he's dusted. Either way, if he doesn't walk, we know he won't, which is why Berta needs to look at. Remember, Johnny, what I said earlier, but before you go on and answer.
Real quick. Gabriel, here's the thing. You don't need a club. This is what everybody fails to realize. When it comes to youth academy players, you don't need the big bucks.
No.
You don't need the big bucks because they're pure profit no matter what. If somebody is crazy, if Saka comes in next year and does the same bullshit next year to where he's not putting up the numbers and is not stepping up when he actually needs to, more consistent to earn that amount of money, Saka's on 15 million pounds a season just on a contract. If you sell him for 20, 25 million, you're getting 40 back. So you don't need to sell them at a high rate because he's a youth academy player. It's pure profit. The bigger point is to get that fat ass contract off the books.
It's true.
And that's exactly what it's all about. Like my thing is with the whole like situation is that when it comes to like, you know, running a football club, like this manager, has put us in a horrible position, which is why I love Andrea Mafioso, bad boy Berta, mate. I was the one that was saying, we win the league, I still want his ass gone. The only way this manager stays another season is if we win the Champions League, which is the hardest one to win out of the lot. I don't think we'll do it, but if he does, I'll be like, you know what? Fair play. You can have one more crack at, you know, the league or whatever, unless we're that bad. But for me, the league ain't enough. I've had enough of this manager. I've had enough of this guy. The league is not enough. £1 billion spent, as you mentioned before, Johnny, many times, and one league title and one FA Cup with no fans. Nah, that's unacceptable, bro. That's unacceptable. Only a Champions League keeps this guy in my mind, which he won't do because he's not good enough. The players are not good enough. And even if they are good enough, he's ran them into the ground anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? And we've got the easiest route to get to a final. We should be getting to the Champions League final, but I doubt it because the players are fucking shattered. Do you know what I'm saying? We got to a semis last season and we were shit. We got to the semis and we were shit and got dog walked by fucking PSG.
PSG.
Yeah, exactly. So if we don't get to the final, let's say we win the league, but we get to the semis again, or we get knocked out by Bodo, I don't care. His ass still needs to go. Berta needs to be like, well done, you finally got over the line, we're moving on. Do you know what I'm saying? That conversation needs to happen at the end of the season because we know he's not going to walk. This manager is way more stubborn, way worse than what Wenger did. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
are you going to turn down $15 million a year?
Nah.
I mean, the thing is, he's got 1 year left on his contract, right? So he's got next year left on his contract. So either way, it's going to be a payout of some kind if he doesn't win this year, right? Or he goes again next year. Either way, if he wins something this year.
An extension. To be honest with you, I don't think they're going to give him an extension.
Oh, no, they might not give him an extension, but he will stay out next year.
I don't really care if they do give him an extension because, like I said, I don't think he sees out a contract if he gets the extension.
Neither do I. I don't think we will give him the extension. But let's just say if we do, I don't think it matters that much as well. I'm with you, Gianni. Like next season, we're going to go down, similar to Liverpool. We're going to be 6th, 7th, 8th. Ironically,
that's if they change the corner rules. If they keep the corner rules the same way, then I don't know. We might stink out too.
We both know they're changing that shit. They changed that shit for the World Cup. The World Cup in the Americas, they changed that shit because everyone was like, "Oh, Arsenal were doing this, Arsenal were doing that." Time, yes, we're doing that shit, but it's not going to carry on, brother. Is it like?
America's not going to tolerate what the English do. That's one thing that I will say.
Henrik Larsson was like, I can't watch the Premier League. I can't, not even just the Premier League. He's like, I can't watch football anymore because it's that bad. Henrik Larsson, legend, bro. Champions League, SPL, and all of that. La Liga, like he's had enough, bro. That's what we're saying, but we're toxic and negative. But the legends agree with us.
Macy, I want to bring it. Well, first, hold on. Manny, I'm going to bring it to you. If I gave you 8 players on the current roster, who are you getting rid of for next season?
Ooh, what a wonderful question that is. Big up Johnny, big up Suj, big up the rest of the panel, including, of course, Nat. We were on Rashid's stream just before.
Yes, sir.
And I will say, this is really a tough one, but because a lot of names over here have been mentioned quite well. There is a part of me that would like to see, us getting rid of David Raya, but if Arteta does stay, then he's not axing him under any circumstances. Although,
real quick, if Raya was to go, who are your options? Because I don't think there's that many goalies that are better than Raya, in my opinion, as a shot stopper. And I think Arteta is the reason why he's getting called out to do this stupid shit and come out of the box the way he is. Because if it's a proper manager, I don't think Raya's not even getting put into question because he's been a hell of a shot stopper this year.
But you know what? He did actually play under Thomas Frank, who a lot of people were claiming was a proper manager, which is why Tottenham signed him. And look where Tottenham are now, of course. 3-1 down, 10. But no, it's just the thing about him is, as Nat has pretty much said, he's just a little bit too short for me. And a lot of people now know that if you were to just pepper him with long shots, he will definitely let a few in. And there are some more than decent shot stoppers out there and much better all-round packages, because I'm one of a number of people, I'm sure Suj will be one of them as well, and several others, who grew up watching David Seaman, legend. That fella, of course, didn't need to have, distribution because it wasn't really in vogue back in the day. But he was a guy who didn't make the camera saves unless it was necessary. He made sure that he was well positioned practically every time, did the simple things well. Even if there were some occasions where he also had some howlers, 9 from the halfway line, as we all remember, they were very few and far between. For the most part, he was absolute, he was magnificent for us, and he seldom, if ever, let us down. I say seldom because there were some moments. So when I see Raya, I don't see that all-round ability. I like Nasta's shout of Jan Oblak. The only problem is I just don't know if all of those years having, played for Real Madrid have taken the edge out of him, and would he, offer us something. But he is a good shout. He's not a bad shout at all.
I think Manny, challenge. Sorry to cut you off there, Manny. I think he would relish the challenge personally, because like you mentioned earlier, Raya, I rate him. It's not even, I want to make this crystal clear. I rate David Raya. He's one of the main reasons why we've been up there for the past couple of seasons. But for me personally, he's too short. Whereas Oblak is a little bit taller. He's not that much taller, but he's got experience. Do you know what I'm saying? And he needs a new challenge. Same with Diego Simeone on a manager level. I just think an Oblak, and if you put Oblak in front of our defense, Gabriel, Saliba, if he's still here, Timber when he's recovered, and then we go out and get a proper left back. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think we can go up levels as long as we're rested. That's all I'm saying, man.
I would understand that. The only thing is, I take a look at David Raya and say that as good as he is, hyped up to be this amazing keeper that he is, and he is a good shot stopper. He has good reflexes, but I don't like his positioning at times. I don't like certain other aspects of his game, which I, observe. And I used to be a goalkeeper in my youth, so I look at a lot of these aspects. One keeper I would consider, bringing back, although I know that you guys are going to disagree with me, is Emiliano Martinez, the last keeper to win a trophy with us. He's already proven himself with Argentina on many occasions, and if he wins a second World Cup, he'll join an elite group of keepers to have won 2 World Cups with Argentina. It's not really a very big group. And people are going to talk about how inconsistent he is with Aston Villa, but he has been leading the saves and goals prevented percentages this season. He's just, he's in an Aston Villa team right now, which is going through a really, really bad run of form. They're going through a lot of flux. And obviously that team is also majorly in need of restructuring and, regeneration, because the bulk of that side consists of Dean Smith era players, Martinez included. And when we sold him, there were many people who were scornfully saying, he's reached his level, he'll never amount to anything. But now look how wrong they've been proven, albeit it's with Argentina and Lionel Messi. But Messi's also been a peripheral player of late. I think if you were to have an all-round keeper like him, who also has more than capable distribution, who is a fine shot stopper himself, and who will never allow himself to get beaten, to get lobbed the way Raya has. I think it would be an upgrade similar to that when Seaman joined and we sold John Lukic to Leeds. So, but let's also not forget the jury is still out. There's still some way to go. And there is a part of me that thinks that this fella will cost us a big trophy and then people are going to see through him. So I'd ship Raya out, sell him to a mid-table club, keep Kepa for one more season as a backup, and then bring Emi Martinez in for maybe 2 or 3 years, and keep Rota and sort of keep bringing in some, some other fine young talent we could get. But Raya is one person I'd get rid of. Then you got the obvious ones. Odegaard is now talking about signing a new contract, and you will have read in the news, Gianni, that some Italian clubs were interested in him. Personally, I hope this doesn't happen. I want to see him gone. I don't think he's, really lent too much to us. He was more than decent in the 22-23 season. But can anyone hand on heart say that he's been a massive improvement on Emile Smith-Rowe?
No.
No, sir.
No chance.
Absolutely not.
Not
No.
I think Smith-Rowe would be doing better at this point right now with us than Odegaard would be. If I'm
Much better.
Smith-Rowe would be balling
Smith-Rowe's
under a different manager.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be doing better under a different manager. Let me tell you that. So Odegaard to leave. I would even get Kai Havertz's wages off the books because for a guy for whom we shell out nearly £300,000 a week on this fella, and his output is nowhere near big enough. And Fulham playing beautiful football. They're going to be coming to the Emirates, and let me tell you that Smith-Rowe, Leno, and Iwobi will love nothing more than to put one over on us. But we'll see what happens. And don't discount Jimenez either. So I've mentioned Raya, Odegaard. I'd get Kai Havertz's wages off the books because I don't think he's produced anywhere near enough. Gabby Jesus also has to go for me. If it is true that Calafiori has done a Pepe Reina and has openly flirted with the possibility of leaving, saying, I'd like to leave, all I will say is don't let the door hit you where our Lord and Savior split you.
Facts.
Arrivederci, and don't you dare to come back, my brother.
Yeah.
Sorry for that. But, so that's Raya, Odegaard, Havertz, Jesus, Calafiori. Trossard will definitely leave. I think he's, we got some decent years out of him, but his output is also slowly but surely declining. Who else? The thing about Ben White is that, as Macy mentioned, we signed him as a centre half and he was poor. So we moved him to the right and he's, done well. The greatest case of serendipity one would ever see. But going forward, is he going to be that man who will, really want to continue to prove himself and have the ambition to move? I don't know about Nasta, but I'm actually, very patriotic when it comes to international football. And I think Ben White's attitude in walking away from the squad and refusing to play under Gareth Southgate, that has given him, a really negative rating in my eyes. And especially with Nasta being a rugby fan, he will agree with me that if Ben White tried to pull that stuff in a rugby setting, he'd be pinned up against the wall and beaten into a pulp.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on England rugby. We got Rugby Italia on the weekend, bruv. I'm watching that after the Arsenal game. It's not looking good. It's not looking.
Yeah,
good.
but agreed. But what I will say is that in rugby, you've got a strict code of professionalism, and they're not going to tolerate prima donnas like Benny Blanco or others. So he's definitely on the list.
But the money in rugby, as you well know, is minimal. Not even it's not even compared to cricket. Like rugby is very low. Yeah. Cricket makes a lot more money than rugby does.
Cricket's always been bigger than rugby.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
See,
always
I'm
been
a
bigger
rugby
than
guy
rugby.
and I know this. Like, rugby will never be as big as football. We know that. But it will never really be as big as cricket because in Asia, cricket is massive. In the West Indies, like Jamaica, where I'm from, cricket is massive. My granddad, God rest his soul, loved his cricket. My old man didn't. He was more into rugby and football like myself. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's like rugby is well low on the totem pole when it comes to generating revenue. But again, the governing bodies in rugby are not much better than the ones in football. The reason why football gets away with it is because it generates so much. Rugby doesn't.
Oh, absolutely.
When rugby fucks about, they don't have the capital to get out of their foolishness, whereas football does. More for the
I agree.
in England.
I agree. And, you know, without even digressing further, you just have to take a look at what's happening with the Wales national team to tell you that, you know, rugby is going through a few problems right now. But what I'm saying, going back to centre, is that, you know, the way Ben White conducts himself with that whole prima donna thing regarding England, that's put him down a level in my eyes, and I wouldn't want that fellow, you know, in my team. I think, you know, he's another player I'd happily move on. So who have I mentioned? Raya, Odegaard, Havertz, Jesus, Calafiori, Ben White. That should be 6 right now, right?
Yep.
Trossard, 7.
Trossard's
So
another.
one-
and-
Yeah. So I have one more left. I've got one more left. There is a part of me that would, you know, agree with Suj a little bit that Martinelli could stay because, you know, for all of the criticism of how he's been playing, his impact in terms of scoring goals in the Champions League and in the Cups has been, you know, really good this season. Cynics are going to say, and there is a validity to that he's really only coming back into form to put himself in the shop window and get himself a spot in the World Cup squad. And, you know, commiserations to Rodrigo, by the way. He won't be playing for Carlo Ancelotti's men, ACL tear and all of that.
Yeah.
But Martinelli, you know, under Unai Emery, as Nat still will agree, he was balling. He was scoring goals as an off-the-shoulder striker. And when we were talking about our 11 for Mansfield Town in the Cup, I was saying, and I think you were too, Nat, that Martinelli as an off-the-cuff shoulder striker would be perfect. And he's been scoring goals.
Yeah.
He'd been scoring goals. He's just not being played in the proper position right now under Arteta. So I am hopeful that if we get rid of Arteta, Martinelli stays and gets put into his proper position. You know, problem solved. I mean, we have Martinelli and Gyökeres competing with one another to be our strikers. Happy days. So one player I would like to see sold, and I know that we've just bought him, but he just hasn't really, you know, done the business for me. Martin Zubimendi. Zubi-dooby-doo, be gone with you. I don't want to work with you now. He's just not cut out for the Premiership. No. Let him enjoy himself playing in Spain.
I just think Zubimendi is just like the only reason why, at least for me, like I would keep him is because again, this manager has misprofiled, mismanaged this whole like squad. Like he doesn't know where our players need to be. Martinelli, case in point. Zubimendi is our new Granit Xhaka. Play him further forward, he's class. But play him facing our own goal, he's dog shit. He's a calamity waiting to happen. So, you know, obviously you mentioned Calafiori as well. Like Martinelli for me is just like, if he was playing in his right position, would he be better? Absolutely. But I think there are better strikers. I think we could get better. I'd rather get Mateta. Let's be honest. I know he's a different type of striker, but we bought Mateta in, for example, less money as a backup. Do you know what I'm saying? Competing with Gyökeres and maybe get one more. If we're going with one up front, maybe a couple more if we're playing 2 up front. Why not?
Now, Tim, my thing is keep Rice in the 6, get rid of Zubimendi, and play MLS in the 8. Let MLS be in the 8 on the number 6.
I think MLS should be the 8, but should be the substitute 8, in my personal opinion, because I want him to get up to speed first before just throwing him in. With this one from DG2, I'm sorry, I disagree. Fabian Ruiz has looked good because he's in France, man, and he's in that Spanish national team. I saw him at Napoli. He's not particularly that great of a midfielder. He's only good at long-range shots and shots outside the box. He comes to the Premier League and gets into a physical league. I think everyone's going to see Fabian Ruiz for what he is, because when he was in that midfield with Napoli trying to be physical, guys were pushing him off the ball like he was nothing. I think him playing with the likes of Vitinha and everybody that's at PSG and him playing with the likes of that Spanish national team, I think is covering a lot for Ruiz. He's a good player on the ball, but when you need him on defense, man, he's suspect as fuck.
Yeah, I'd rather Ruben Neves. I'd rather Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, or who what I personally call absolute savage. I'd rather him instead of
the other option. The other option is Quinton Timber, but he's not coming in. He just signed a new contract with whatever that team is. But even Quinton, Quinton,
he's good. Quinton Timber is fucking good.
He's class.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's good. See, I'd keep Zubimendi if it was the same thing and you played him in the 8. I would be fine with Zubimendi and Rice being in a double pivot, but he's the one that goes up and Rice sits back. To what you said, Nat, if Rice went and played that old school English number 4 defensive midfield, I hear it if he sits back there and Zubi's allowed to go forward. However, I am not prescribing to this mentality that Zubamendi gets dropped to the bench if we're going to go spend a shit ton of money on Tonali, because at that point I would just get rid of Zubamendi, because I would get rid of Zubamendi and get Tonali if that's what you're going to ask me for the chances. Because like I said, I want Miles Lewis-Skelly in the midfield next year. I don't want to hear about this motherfucker getting put out to left back again. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear it. Hincapie's earned the starting left back position from here on out. You permanently sign him in the end of the window. Skelly should be in the midfield. Wanyeri, you could do wherever you want with him, and you could do the same thing with Dalman. I want all three of them to get regular minutes next year.
Yeah.
I think that's a mandatory for these guys to grow. Chike, a little bit different because I'm interested to hear this. If I gave you 8 players to get rid of for Manchester City,
Oh, great.
you're a City fan, who would be the 8 players that you would get rid of for City in order to take a pivot for next year? Because I think me personally, I've been saying for a little bit of time now, I still think we're winning 2 trophies. I don't think we're going to bottle this because I just don't trust City for what I've said. If you were to make a change of 8 players to the squad at City, who are you getting rid of?
Wow, this is going to be tough. Bernardo Silva's one. Oh boy, probably Diaz is another. Oh boy,
Stones
has got to go. Wow, this is tough.
I mean, you can let go of Mamouche and steal him to us. That's fine.
Yeah, I keep Mamouche. No, I keep Mamouche. He's a good goal. He's a goal threat. Am I at 3? Let's see.
What about this? Ake?
Gonzalez. Yeah, Ake's got to go. Gonzalez.
You get rid of Nico
Ake.
Gonzalez.
Yeah, he's not great.
I think he's a good player. I
think there's a player there, but I think, again, to play that 4-3-3 with him as the lone 6, I think doesn't suit him.
That's what I mean.
If you go back to your 4-2-3-1, I think if you put another like here, I think if you got Tonali from Newcastle and put him next to Gonzalez, you're fine.
100%. No, I agree with that.
Or if the rumors are true that they're going to go for broke this year and take a pivot with the youth, if Inter put Barella on the market, I'd put Barella next to Nico Gonzalez, and I think
Gonzalez
either way.
Yeah, that's a good take. But yeah, so Ake. So where am I? Where am I at? 4.
4.
Okay. Oh God, this is really tough. Stones has got to go. Diaz. That's a tough one. I don't really know. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's so much work. There's so much work. There's so much work
to
do.
Controversial one in?
Yeah, go ahead.
Foden.
Really?
I'd get rid of Foden in a heartbeat.
I don't know, but I
Foden.
really like Foden.
I would get rid of Foden in a heartbeat.
Wow, I really like Foden. I really
it's the
like
mentality. Foden. It's the mentality for me. It's not the ability for me. It's the mentality.
Exactly. That player of the season got to his fucking head. That player to the season got to his fucking head, and he hasn't shown up since because he wasn't good last year, and he hasn't been good this year. Because Tone's funny saying he's a golden child. I think Foden's being played out of position because of the stubbornness of
Pep Guardiola.
He should be a 10.
Proper money for him. You could get more for Foden than we would ever get out of Bukayo Saka. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's actually very
true. Fuck
yeah, that's true.
And he's a better player anyway, so yeah.
Would you sell Rodri? Just curiosity.
If the price is right, yes.
I mean, he's a great player, but injuries just have affected him now.
I'd sell him.
100%. If the price is right, yeah. Yeah.
If I was City, I'd sell Rodri. I'd sell him
too, and it pains me to say it because City. That's the thing, because we need a rebuild and we need one really badly. So yeah, you know what? Screw it. Foden, Rodri.
So you got Foden, Rodri, Ake, Gonzalez, Bernardo Silva, John Stones, Diaz. You got one more.
I got one more. Oh God.
Jack Grealish. He's still in the squad technically. He's just loaned out.
Yeah, he's on loan to Everton.
He's just loaned out. So he'll be back at the end of the season. technically.
Screw it, Jack Grealish.
Okay.
Jack
I think
Grealish.
under a different manager, yeah, Jack Grealish can cook. The thing is,
I
with
do too.
Jack Grealish is not a left-sided player. Even floating, I think he's more out and out old school.
Yeah, he's out and out, and the guy that will dribble inside and get a team into, and that will drive a team into
touchline
foul
winger as a
trouble.
ball carrier. He's not that guy, bro. Yes, he was somewhat effective, but for £100 million to make him a touchline ball carrying winger, like what Arteta's done with Bukayo Saka, Trossard, even Martinelli, even though we don't have the tech for that, like it's a shambles. Get rid of that bollocks. We need to get
nasty.
Tech and Arteta. Just even from a neutral standpoint, even from a football loving standpoint, get rid of them Catalonian motherfuckers.
Yes, please.
Bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Just
that's
get
what I
rid of
said. Honestly,
We
get
were
rid of those pricks.
and then just start again, rip it up.
Yeah, I'd keep to
Rip
what
up the
you're,
contract and start
saying.
again.
I would keep Grealish. I'd keep.
Yeah,
Grealish
that's
for
what
one
I
more
mean.
year if
That's
I'm
why
at
the
City,
City
'cause I'm-
rebuild is
'cause
tough
I'm
for me,
keeping
man,
him at the number
because
10, like you said.
it's tough for me. Oh, God.
His that trouble year is the only one-off year where he did better than one of his seasons at Aston Villa.
100%.
The rest of the time at Aston Villa at the number 10, he was better than any of his other years at City. And I think
100%.
I think that's where he would go. Yeah, the relationship is dead.
Yeah, he is dead. It's been dead for
It's dead
years.
because of Pep. It's not because of Grealish. What I'm saying is
100%.
I think Grealish at his age to be a rotation number 10 for whoever you would get on top of him. I'm not saying that Grealish should walk in and be the starter for City anymore. But if you got him as a rotating number 10 with everybody else that you have, I think that's a great option to have if you're playing him at his true position. He's not a touchline left winger. The games that we've seen him cook for Everton, he's been more central than he has been out on the left, which is where Grealish thrives. And for me, that's part of the reason why City look like shit. They don't have that link up play in the middle that caused everybody problems anymore. City is trying to go direct to put a ball out to the wing and let the wing come in and then see what happens. And they're still not even providing enough service for Haaland. You put a guy like Grealish who can provide service for Haaland through the middle, I think it's a different fucking story. But I hear
Wait.
it.
Yeah.
Question. I guess
The first thing we got to do
from-
is get rid of Pep Guardiola. That's the first thing we
I
got to
think
do.
I think Pep's gone after this year.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's gone.
Yeah.
Wait, I've got a question from Manny here. Manny says he's a former goalkeeper. Trafford, would you bring him to Arsenal?
That's another player we got to get rid of. Trafford.
No, he's shit.
No, we've already got Setford as well.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, fair.
And the thing about James Trafford is, let me just say this right now. When he got promoted with Burnley the first time, a lot of people were raving over him. But then, actually, no, it wasn't even. Yeah, he was promoted with Burnley, but in the Premiership, he was found out horribly, a little bit too slight, like not really built for it. And then he's gotten promoted with Burnley again, and now he's back up at Manchester City. He was talking not too long ago about how he was, not exactly made to feel comfortable when the club was signing Donnarumma. But, this chap really needs to do a lot of work on his game and really needs to, to really improve his game for the Premiership before he can even consider being courted by another big club. So, no, I wouldn't take James Trafford. Far from it. No way.
And
What I think will...
Sorry, Manny, go on. Sorry.
No, go ahead now, if you want to catch this.
All I was going to say is because I used to play in goal a few times as well. That's why I'm very critical with goalkeepers, innit? Like with David Raya, very, very good, great at shot stopping, but the height, and even though I'm 5'10", ironically, it is what it is. But for my height, I'm good. For my height, I'm good. But
exactly. Well, when you were,
I don't feel the heat.
No, that's the thing. Both of us, were goalkeepers when we were younger, and I had to stop playing because I stopped growing, and now I have to try to find some solace in powerlifting. Go figure. But Trafford, going back to him, he just doesn't really have that in him as of yet, and there's so many facets to his game which he has to develop. One thing which Aston Villa might do, if they decide not to get rid of Emi Martinez, would be to get Trafford on a loan deal with an obligation to buy from Manchester City, and then he ends up becoming their new first choice goalkeeper, having worked with a world champion, you can't have a better person with whom to train because Donnarumma isn't going anywhere. So that could be what happens. I think Aston Villa might get him, or maybe another club might get him. But I wouldn't have Trafford at Arsenal. No way.
See, I
hope that answers your question, Sush.
I'm Aston Villa real quick before I jump to Macy with this. If I'm Aston Villa, I'm looking at Dean Henderson to replace Martinez, because Crystal Palace, I think, is going to blow their whole operation up at the end of the season. Glasner's not staying. They got their title. They're not going to make fucking Europe. They're not going to have anything there. I think Crystal Palace is going to be one of these teams that's going to be looked at as one of these feeder teams for clubs next year. I don't think Sarr will stay. I think Johnson, they may have to keep him and whatnot. But like here, for a defense, like if I'm Chelsea, for example, who needs a center back desperately, I'm looking at that Maxence Lacroix to go from Crystal Palace to go to Chelsea. I just don't think Crystal Palace is going to be that much of a team past this season once Glasner walks away, in my personal opinion. I think
Tyrick Mitchell will go as well, and I would take him. I don't care if he.
Petrov's a good goalkeeper. He's a good goalkeeper.
Yeah, I would take Tyrick Mitchell at left back from
yes.
He's definitely going to go, because I agree in terms of Hincapié he's been brilliant for us. Do you know what I'm saying? He's the only one that not only, other than Declan Rice, gives a shit, but he's the only one that's got the energy and the drive and is showing any real quality. But if you have a Tyrick Mitchell as well, that's competition, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? We had that with Ben White and Timber. So why not have that on the other side? Yep. Replace Ben White and then or not even buy another right back. Salmon can be the competition. Do you know what I'm saying? We've got Nichols at centre back. I don't know if he can play left or right back, but I know he's a centre back by trade. We got what you said, Manny, earlier in Rashid's stream. What is it? Ephraim in the middle of the park. Miles Lewis-Skelly, obviously Ethan and Dowman. We've got options. Project Youth it's back once again, guys. Do you know what I'm saying, for the Renegade Master? So we got options, and Palace, in regards to that, they will definitely be a feeder club. Like they're going to get rinsed. I'm telling you, they will get rinsed. Tottenham won't get rinsed because they're dog shit. Do you know what I'm saying? Palace will get rinsed because they've got some good players in it. It's just they don't have the squad depth. Do you know what I'm saying? Playing in Europe, their league position has suffered. So I
think Tottenham's going to get rinsed too, to be quite honest with you. Tottenham's going to get rinsed to shit when they drop.
Well, most of them will leave, innit? But how many of them players are going to play in the Premier League? Like,
no, they'll get picked up. They'll get picked up.
I think Romero overseas. I think he might go.
No, Romero won't stay. Van de Ven, I think, is dog shit. He's nowhere near a big club ready center back. Like,
I agree. Yeah,
he's all pace. He's not that good of a center back. There's plenty of other guys that I'm looking at over him. I think what's his name's talking about. He's going to Inter to be the new goalkeeper. Vicario, yeah.
Oh my days, that guy.
Wait, Inter were interested in both Alisson and Martinez. Why would they settle for Italy's number 2?
Because Vicario, well, he's not Italy's number 2. He's number 3. The guy on Atalanta is a badass goalkeeper. Carnesecchi, he's way better than Vicario. Vicario can't tie his shoes. Vicario, I think, will try to walk to where they can get it lower. Villa still wants a decent amount of money from Martinez because I don't think his contract's up until next season with Aston Villa.
2029.
Villa's going to ask for too much money if they fall out of Champions League because of all their financial problems. So Inter's not going to spend money like that. Inter, I think, is going to go the cheapest route. And from what I'm seeing, Vicario is going to be cheaper, especially if they get relegated. But like here, Kulusevski's going to get picked up by somebody if he plays his proper position and not all these weird spots they're trying to put him in. And even though he's injury prone as fuck, someone's going to take a chance on James Madison because Madison is a good player.
James Madison's a good player. He should not.
Madison's a baller, an absolute baller.
In the first place, it's madness. Yes, the injuries and all that, but James Madison, Jack Grealish, proper players that have just been wasted, either not playing in the right position or injured. In this case, James Madison, like at Spurs, it's just like Kulusevski. He's a good player. I don't rate him as highly, but compared to like James Madison and that. But yeah,
but I can see Kulusevski. I could see Kulusevski if Spurs are going to go for broke and have to do a fire sale and sell these players for cheap money. I could see Kulusevski being even much a replacement for Sarr at Crystal Palace for them to say, look, we made one.
Oh yeah. No, 100%. But do you think with Kulusevski, because I think there's definitely good attributes. Do you think he'd go to a bigger and better club, considering Tottenham are going?
He looked good. The only reason why he played for Juventus is because he looked good on Verona for 2 years. And the guy who he was playing with at Verona had him playing on the left side on his predominant foot and had him looking good crossing balls in. That's the only reason why he got that move. Other than that, Kulusevski's a mid-table fucking player. He ain't no fucking.
So you wouldn't take him in Napoli. So you definitely wouldn't take him in Napoli. Okay.
He's
Well,
trash. I'm not taking him at all on my team.
But you would definitely take a James Madison instead of like KDB. Like you get rid of.
Hell
KDB,
yeah, I would risk Madison.
the number 10.
If Madison came in the money, if Madison came and the money wasn't crazy for his salary, I'd give Madison a 2-year contract just to see where he would be on the injury.
I think you could get him as well. If you get rid of KDB, that's a huge chunk of the wages. I don't think he'll cost that much, especially with him not playing for the whole year. You know, Spurs are looking like they're going down. I don't see why not. You keep McTominay. You know, you still got Lukaku, but you can ship him out. Højlund might stay, might go, and all of that because of the nature of the deal. You know, you got Anguissa in there. Do you know what I'm saying? You still got Di Lorenzo in that. Did you sell alone, or did you loan him out to Galatasaray?
No, we loaned him out, which I think he's coming back at the end of the season.
Okay, that's cool. So he's going to be in there. Yeah.
So you see here, if we went 4-4-2 diamond midfield, I'd put Long as the secondary striker. I'd keep Neres on the bench for the backup. And if you're giving me the opportunity at Madison, I'm starting Madison at the number 10 and then have McTominay and Anguissa and Lobotka around him.
That would be class. That would be class. Different manager, like
smarter shit.
Proper manager, yeah. You're going to do bits next season. Trust me.
Macy, who are your 8 guys that you would get rid of for Arsenal coming into next season?
Thank you for bringing me on, Gianni, because I've been very quiet and now it's like I need to get some recognition, folks.
You always do, Mace.
I know, because like the spotlight should be on me, guys. Always on me.
the tribal chief.
Okay. So the players that I would sell, Odegaard is number 1 because that Justin Bieber motherfucker needs to leave right away. I don't know how we've given him the captaincy in the first place, and there's a reason why. He was a failed wonder kid at Real Madrid, so he's the first player we need to sell immediately. The second player that I would sell, Martinelli, because for me, Martinelli has been at the football club for like 9 years, and the best of Martinelli was the fact when Unai Emery brought him into the football club and he turned him into a striker. But ever since Arteta came in, Martinelli has been deployed as a winger. So I don't even like Martinelli. For me, like, this is not the Martinelli that I know, because if Martinelli's main position is a striker, but this manager thinks that he can deploy him as a winger. And for me, Martinelli, like the amount of chances chances this guy has to nick a goal for us, he can't even score one winning goal for us because he gets the ball and then he blazes it well wide or high off of the top of the bar. So for me, like, Martinelli needs to be moved on. I like him, but I think his time at Arsenal is looking like it's coming to an end. Number 3, Trossard, because for me, another guy that's been at the club for too long. And against Brighton, Trossard didn't even do nothing. Like, there was no point in the match there was nothing in the match that he did like that should have won us the game permanently. So for me, Trossard needs to go because, like, I mean, Trossard is my baller, but I still think we need to move him on.
He's linked with us. I take him to Napoli.
Oh, that's good.
Napoli.
And there was like a few years ago, Fenerbahce were linked with him.
Mm-hmm.
So like he could go either Napoli or Fenerbahce, depending on who's interested. Number 4, I would probably sell. Kai Havertz definitely needs to go. I'm
Yep.
sick and tired of this German James Charles with that fucking hairstyle. And also another thing that I can't stand from Kai Havertz, because every time when he scores a goal, he always does this. Look, like he does this when he scores a goal. Like, come on, man.
Did that in the Champions League final a few years ago.
Yeah, and I remember he scored.
Yeah, and he's
against,
still
like,
living off that fucking goal.
Oh, 100%.
yeah.
That got him his
I just don't know
200K.
why. I just
Has a
don't
statue
understand why
statue
people
for it.
buying all these leftovers from Chelsea. I just don't get it. Like this whole obsession with getting these Chelsea players, it just doesn't make any sense to me, because we're always being linked to a Chelsea player, hoping that this manager can get the best out of them. So for me, Kai Havertz needs to go. Jesus definitely needs to go. I don't know how long this guy's been at the football club. He's injury prone. And one thing he admitted to the world, gentlemen, he said, I can't score goals from open play. He said it to the whole world, remember?
Yep.
He can't score goals from open play.
When did he say that?
Like the 23-24 season when he was
Yeah.
doing an interview
Yeah,
with
the
someone.
23-24 season.
Yeah, I'm not a goal
Yeah,
scorer.
when he openly admitted, he said he can't do it. He can't score enough goals. Well, if you can't score enough goals, mate, then why the fuck are you still here? There are other clubs you can score goals at, so fuck off and find
Or just
one.
play football.
Yeah, I just don't know how. I just don't know. I just simply cannot believe he came out and said that he can't score any goals for us. So for me, like, Jesus should be ashamed of himself. So we have to move him on. Calafiori needs to go.
Yep.
That Tarzan looking Sophia Carson with that fucking hairstyle, get this fucker out, because all of our fan base are still saying that but he's far better than Maldini and all these other Italian legends. Like, come on, bro. Do you even watch Serie A? I've seen Maldini. I've seen the way he defends. He is, and for our fan base to compare Calafiori to Maldini is an absolute disgrace.
The greatest
Learn the
defender of
history.
all time. The fuck.
Yeah, learn the history of Italian legends. You absolute fan base muppets. Kermit the Frog, Miss Piggy, Fozzie the Bear, every single one of you is a muppet. The Arsenal fan base are muppets. Another player that Mikel Moreno needs to go as well. I just don't know how we brought him into the football club, because for me, this manager brought him as a midfielder, but then after that, he decided to put him as a makeshift striker, and he scored 2 goals against Leicester, and our fan base were on our knees saying, "Oh, what are you saying now? Mikel Moreno can do a job for us." Where was he when we lost 1-0 to West Ham? Where was he when we got dumped out of the Champions League to PSG? So don't sit there and say Moreno can do a job for us, because Moreno is a dumpster truck, because he gets the ball and he gets the ball and then he gets outrun permanently by an opposition player. So for me, Moreno ain't good enough for us, and we need to move him on. This is the final one is going to be a bit hard for me, because I'm still trying to decide whether or not we should sell Ben White or Zubimendi, because I just don't know. Yeah, because I don't know who the fifth and final one should be, Ben White or Martin Zubimendi.
For me, I would say Ben White if you're going to put it down to them two.
I think
Zubimendi, now that he's playing more of that 8 role recently, I think he looks better in that 8 to where I would keep him. The only thing for me is that Ben White, the only reason why I go back and forth with White is I just want some extra numbers on that back line. I know he's not the greatest center back, but to do a job against a shit team, when you need to give somebody a breather, I'd rather take an experienced guy with it than just some random guy. I mean, that's my personal opinion. Although, funny enough, Jakub Kiwior is first place with Porto, and he's still on the books. So we still have Kiwior to come back as the
Fabio Vieira as well.
Huh?
And Fabio Vieira as well. He's still on loan to us at Hamburg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we sell Sambi Lukonga or did we get rid
I
of
think,
him?
I
No,
think
We got rid of him. I think we got rid of him.
Yeah, Lukonga we did let go
Okay,
of. He's
good.
definitely gone.
Yeah. He was meant to be our new Vieira. Remember, guys, he was our new Patrick Vieira.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, along with Nuno Tavares to be the new Ashley Cole. Remember
oh yeah,
that?
that Olympic sprinter. Do you know what I'm saying? That Olympic sprinter. Do you know? No. Get out of here, man. Get out of here.
Okay, so now to shift this, we've all said our piece. We've pretty much said the same 8 guys. The only one that's come more so into talk was me and Suj said Saka, and everyone else said possibly Zubamendi. If you had 4 players, say you can't replace all 8, you can replace half of them. No, we'll say 5. If there's 5 players that you would bring in to help cover those spots that are missing, who would you go with? Macy, I'll start with you on this one.
This is a tough decision, Gianni. So we know that Saka is not going anywhere because we've given him another contract, and for me, like we signed Madueke, but is Madueke going to be enough? So we need a proper right winger for Saka, because Madueke, like
Baller.
Madueke is good at some games, but he's still can't replace Saka. Like he's not in, like he can't like be the backup to Saka. So for me, we need to go out and get a proper right winger for Saka. If I had to choose who we should go and get as a backup, Olise. Yeah, that would be.
He's starting. I'm starting Elise over Saka. If we get Elise, Saka's got to get moved to the left wing at that rate, because he's not starting over Elise.
And this is what I've been saying, Gianni. We should have signed Olise this summer, but instead, this manager wanted Madueke, and look where it's gotten.
So you got, yeah. I would agree with this, Tone, to invest in the French market, because there's a fuck ton of young ballers that are coming out from France. I mean, there always is.
Yeah.
I'd invest in the Spanish league as well, on the Spanish market as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, get proper ballers. None of this Lego.
None of this
Head
pace and
2.0.
power bollocks.
No Lego Head 2.0. I know we got Zubamendi from there, but again, like, he's not what everyone thinks he is. Proper ass fucking players. Do you know what I'm saying? Get the next Pedri. Do you know what I'm saying? You're not going to get another Xavi or Iniesta. They're one of a kind, isn't it? But get the next Pedri. Do you know what I'm saying? Get the 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old Pedri in midfield. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, maybe get a Vitinha, the next Vitinha. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you what, who's surprising me. He's a young kid that I would look for the future. That Pablo Barrios at Atletico Madrid is a good fucking player in the middle. He's somebody that I would look at. If you're going down that route. I agree with Tone. That Manu Kone from Roma is a fucking baller, and he's a horse as far as getting up and down the pitch. He's definitely somebody I would look at.
He was a Gladbach before Roma, I believe.
Yeah.
As well. Yeah.
He's a good player. I'll tell you what, if we need a center back, I'd look at that Mario Gila from Lazio, the Spanish center back that came out of Real Madrid's youth academy. Lazio's only taught. He's been one of the best. He's easily top 10, arguably top 5 best defenders in Italy the last 2 years. And they're saying Lazio's only trying to sell him for 20 million euros. I'd hop on that in a heartbeat. Fuck. Chike, you guys for City, he walks into your starting rotation.
Oh, 100%.
And Gila and Gahey would actually be a badass combination for center backs at City if you were going to look at them. So Macy, you said Elise. You got any other guys that you would look at for five?
I still think we need the replacement if Martin Odegaard is leaving. I mean, Eze is our number 10, but we need like a backup for Eze. Because if Eze gets injured, then who's gonna cover in for him? Because we know that Odegaard is leaving, and that's good. So we need to go and get a proper backup 10 for Eze. So
you take Bowen?
I mean, Bowen would be a good choice.
I personally, if I would personally keep a look at some of these bottom feeder teams that may go out, because here, listen, Morgan Gibbs White I'd take.
Gianni, you read my mind.
I like him and that other guy.
What, Elliot Anderson?
Yeah.
But I don't like the way when he got that equalizer, he was celebrating. Get the ball and run back to the halfway line. I don't know why these players score equalizing goals and just do all this celebration. Just get the ball.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't like this.
But he's a good player. I'd look at him.
I agree.
Yes, we got a final. Spuds are down
3-1.
again. Fuck Spurs. Let's go. Let's this would make the championship even better.
Down.
And let me also say justice for Ange Postecoglou. All of you Ange outers who wanted him sacked after he won you ungrateful sods a trophy. Where are you now?
That's who we are, mate.
Not only that, I'll be honest with you, if Spurs get relegated, it's a win for football because it shows how they've tried to rig the Premier League with PSR. It shouldn't be happening. You know, one of the reasons why I constantly say the Premier League will never hit the level of the Serie A is because the Serie A didn't stop any ownership from winning. If they decided to put money into their team to try to have a crack at winning, they did. You had Sampdoria won the fucking league. Kiev won the fucking league. You got you at any point in time, you had 7 to 8 teams that could possibly contend for the Serie A at different periods. You don't have that in the Premier League. You have 7 or 8 teams that can contend for first 4 or the 5th spot because of the coefficient, but they're not contending for the title. I mean,
did Parma win the league?
No,
they were close. They were close. Okay, yeah, because I know that.
How many points did they lose by?
Did Parma lose by 6?
Wow.
6, 7 to Juve.
Don't do that.
But that's what I mean. You're handicapping all these other teams. That's the reason why I want Tottenham to go down. Get rid of PSR. Don't let all this other shit. Don't let all this other shit kick into play and everything else. Big up Quaja. Big up Micah, my guy.
Big up Micah.
Micah, if you want
Micah.
on, you're more than welcome. I'll throw the link back into the stream. Quaja, big up, my guy. How sweet was it? Did you watch the Spurs game?
Yeah, it was just beautiful. I mean, I'm watching the game. It was just, they are so bad to watch, bruv. I was watching the full 90.
I told you guys, don't worry about Tudor coming in. Tudor is a dog shit manager. He's going to get them motherfuckers relegated.
Yeah.
He's a fucking bum.
Now, what's really embarrassing is that Spurs took 4 points off us.
They've been your bogey team, though.
Yes.
They've been your guys' bogey team.
I think that's the problem is, right, that Spurs always do well against City, but the other teams, they're not good. That's the problem with Spurs, that they're good against City, but they're not good against the other teams.
All the title-winning seasons you've had, you've lost or dropped points to Spurs.
Yes.
Spurs, just for some reason, has been your fucking whatever kind of mojo they got on you guys has been what's fucking kicking.
Yeah, they've had our number for like 4 years now.
Yeah.
Manchester City robbed, I heard yesterday. Bernardo Silva saying that Man City were robbed. Haaland should have had a penalty. Robbed. ROBBED. Call the police. The PGM will have stealing it from Manchester City. Robbed.
Yeah. No. They haven't seen robbed in American sports. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's for damn sure. That's for damn sure. Plaja, we've been going around. I'll pose this question to you real quick. Obviously, coming into this, whether we like it or not as Arsenal fans, we kind of do have one hand on the title because I think City's going to slip again. For me, I think there's a lot of questions for both Liverpool and City coming out of this season to see what they're going to do. I think there's a lot more questions and conversations that need to be had about how much of a revamp those two teams are actually going to need. Arsenal, I think, should be making changes to the squad to push ahead and try to continue with winning more trophies and possibly try to go back to back, even though, again, it's with Lego head. And I think if there are changes made by the referees and everything else to stop the nonsense with the corner kicks, I think we do have a big dose of reality we'll catch next year. But if it was up to you coming into the season, before you worry about people coming in, who are the 8 players that you would get rid of on the squad?
I would get rid of Martinelli, Trossard, because they've been absolutely terrible for us this season. I think Trossard is a good player, don't get me wrong, but we're playing him in the wrong position. He's not a left winger. He's a false 9 secondary striker /10. But I feel like even though you play him there, he still hasn't been good enough. Yesterday when he came on, terrible. Martinelli is a striker. He's not a left winger, but even though if you play him up top, he's good in the cup games. Don't get me wrong. He's good in the domestic cups, but in the Premier League, he hasn't been good. Them two need to be sold. I would sell Saka because he hasn't been good enough, and the new contract absolutely stinks. I'd probably sell Ben White because I don't think he's fully fit, and I think he's a good player.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's frozen.
Oh, he froze up.
Yeah.
So he was on Ben White.
I believe. Yeah.
He'll come back on.
Yeah.
Real quick. We'll go to Suj because I don't know how much time Suj has got. Suj, again, thank you so much for hopping on.
I got 5 minutes, but it's in between checking my emails and stuff. But let's go good.
For 5, who would be 5 players that you if you had the opportunity, if you could pick 5 players to bring into Arsenal, who would they bring in to revamp the team? We heard your 8 that you would want out. If you had an opportunity at 5, who would you go after?
See, I would want another defensive type midfield, so like a Kimmich or Wharton type player.
Then I like Wharton.
I would. I still like Quinton Timber as a number 8. I would like another striker. I just don't know what striker would suit our squad at the moment. That's the unfortunate thing. And this is my sentiments coming out here. Never going to happen, but I still want Serge to come back to Arsenal for 2 seasons. For 2 seasons, I want Serge to come back. That's my own internal bias of wanting Serge to come back, finish his career with us, and then the number 10, Arda Güler.
He's the guy I want. He's a guy that I would want. Who would you take at left wing? Because I think left wing, regardless of what happens, whether all these guys leave or not, I think left wing is the biggest problem in this team. Who would you take at the left wing for Arsenal?
See, my heart is always going to say Serge.
Okay.
Serge at the left. For 2 years, he will give us a solid 2 years.
Okay. I could see Serge. Serge I would take back only to be a rotation player because he could play all 4 positions.
Correct.
He could come in at the 10 if you need him. He could play right. He could go left. And he could.
See,
We've seen him as a striker too with Bayern Munich and ball out in that position. So
I would start Serge on the left for the first 45, and then bring on like a Martinelli for the second 45. But that's what Martinelli does best. Just let him run. No fixed position. Just bring him on the left.
Okay.
Or even if they're keeping Saka, move Saka to the left.
Would you take Rodgers?
You'd be stupid not to take Rodgers, right? In theory.
I think he's the guy that we should go after, in my opinion. If you went with a 4, if you went here, I'll even accommodate you. I'd move Saka to the left, play Rodgers at the 10 over Eze, if you could, and I would put who did you just say? I'd put Arda Güler on the right. I think that kid's such a fucking baller.
Yeah, fair. That I'm happy with. But okay, before I do jump off, I do want to say the one name that nobody mentioned of getting rid of was Noni.
Yeah, I hear that.
I'd give him an extra year only because you need the legs. He did
Yeah,
okay.
fair. Okay.
He did. Listen, he's not worth 50 million.
No.
Madueke is not worth no fucking. If Madueke is worth 50 million, what the fuck would Robert Perez be in this market nowadays? A $200 million player? You know what I mean? He's not. He's nowhere near that. But I'd be willing to give Madueke one more year. He's not that great, but he's legs that you
Yes.
need. But
Yeah, fair.
yeah,
But I do have to jump off. But Gianni, it's been a pleasure. Awesome panel chat. Great as usual. Now that I'm back in Australia, these are better times than when I was in India. So it's but it's what 8 a.m. now, so it's better than the bloody 2 a.m. that you were coming on before.
okay.
All right, cheers, everybody.
Big up, Suj. Appreciate
Big
Big
you.
up,
up,
big up.
Suge. Thank you very much. Good to meet you, man.
Big up. Big up. Sorry,
So
Gianni.
Oh, good.
I
So you were on Ben White, which was your third guy. Who
Yeah.
who are you who else are you throwing in there then to get rid of on the squad?
Oh yeah. By the way, big up Views for the raid, man. Big up to Views
Big
for
up
the raid.
Views for the raid. Big up everybody coming over from Views. Big
I
up
feel
everybody.
like I feel like we need to sell Jesus because he's not that player. He's another scrub. Jesus needs to be sold.
Yep.
I would sell Calafiori, but
Yep.
some of our fan base would fancy him because he's got nice hair and
His hair looks like Tarzan. Why not?
I need one of you guys in England to trip him so he gets fucking hurt so he doesn't play on the Italian national team because he's a fucking bum.
And I don't know why he's wearing a ponytail in his hair, because when he first came to the club, he was wearing a headband. Now this season, he's wearing a ponytail. Gianni, hey Gianni, do you recognize Calafiori? When he first came to Arsenal, he was wearing a headband, and now this season, he's now wearing a ponytail. Like,
Yeah, I recognize him because he's still the same fucking bum from Bologna.
Ah.
He should have never showed up over here. He's a fucking scrub.
I know.
They're talking about him going to Rome.
But-
If he goes to Rome, if Rome spend big money on him, you know what? And I actually hope so because fuck Rome either way. So
And that would be good for Lazio. That would be good.
and Lazio is in a bad spot.
Oh,
Lazio's in a real bad spot. I don't know if you guys have been seeing it. Lazio, they had a 70% of the crowd walk out middle of the game, the last game that they played because of what's going on with the fan base going up against the ownership. Majority of the fans that were there walked out of the stadium
nice.
and were watching the game from their phones outside of the stadium and huge protests. Lazio's in a bad situation right now. Which
Do Lazio have American owners as well, or their owners are from another country?
no, Lotito's from Italy. It's the problem is Lazio's trying to. All the teams in Italy right now. I know this is going off a topic. All the teams in Italy right now are starting to realize that they have to battle through the bullshit with the politics, and they all have to start owning their own teams because of the not owning their own teams, but they need to own their own stadiums because they're falling way too far behind the Premier League and the other leagues with money because they don't have all the money coming into their stadiums because they have to split it with the government, which is the reason why they're doing this. There's a small stadium. I forgot the name of it. It starts with an F, but Lazio's talking about spending like $500 million on renovations to it and moving out of that stadium and buying that stadium in order for them to get better. Same thing with Rome. Rome's talking about leaving the Stadio Olimpico and getting their own stadium. Big up Views every single time. Appreciate the raid, my guy.
Big up
Appreciate the
Views.
raid, my guy. Views, it was glorious. Spurs are going down, brother. Fuck Spurs.
Igor Tudor is one of the worst coaches in the league, bro. The way he sets up his team is so bad. I don't know what his subs were. I just got confused, Gianni. I'm like, what was his subs? What did they do?
Brother,
Like,
I told you
I
Tudor
don't
was going to get
understand
them
you,
relegated. Brother, when you guys were all asking me who's this Tudor and everything else, I told you guys, I go, do not be surprised if this asshole relegates them. He's a
And
bum
this is
fucking
what I don't
manager.
understand, Gianni. They should have gone out and got somebody with Premier League experience. Somebody
Sean
who knows
Dyche.
Premier League because Chuto doesn't even know the Premier League. So if
I hear that. Here's my thing, right? If Spurs were serious, and people may think I'm crazy for saying this, if Spurs were serious, if you were going to sack Ange, you go and get another manager and actually invest in him for the year to see where you can get with the fucking team. See, I thought if Spurs were going to show some balls because he was available in the summer, I would have offered the job to Roberto Mancini and said, "Listen, here's 150 million. Here's 150 million for you. We need you to come in and coach. We need you to kick everybody up the backside to get them up and playing because you can see these guys don't give a fuck whether Tudor's a bad coach or not. If your coach is telling you to push the lineup and Mickey Van de Ven can't be fucking asked, the problem is this as well with all those Spurs players. The mentality is they all don't want to be there. They can all give two fucks about that club anyways, which is glorious because I want them relegated no matter what. Yeah, and exactly what Tone's saying. The players are causing mutiny because they got a bunch of managers in that they didn't respect. And to what everybody said, like what Manny said, he won them the Europa League. You should have at least gave him the other year. And if he hangs himself halfway through the year, and you go get like a Sean Dyche or somebody else. But you went out and got a bum in Thomas Frank. I'm sorry. The guy whoever took over Thomas Frank's job at Brentford's better than him.
Yeah.
He's got Brentford fighting for a European spot, and they lost.
He's 7-year contract, by the way. He's got Igor Thiago balling out, and he's playing better football. Everyone was hyping up Thomas Frank for some reason. He's not that good manager, bro. He's decent, but he ain't all that, bro.
He fucking sucks. He got lucky. He got lucky that Ivan Toney and Emblemo and then eventually Wissa after Toney was scoring goals. He fucking blows. Thomas Frank is shit. He's not a fucking good manager. The Spurs, you know what Spurs were trying to do? They're trying to be Spursy and get cheap. They wanted a cheap option to try to bank some more money, and they got caught with their pants down. And good, fuck them.
Like the McCaskies?
The McCaskies taught everybody, brother. Everybody learned from the McCaskies who own the Chicago Bears. Everybody's learning to be cheap. It's just not working out for everybody at the same way. But Quasha, to go back, who are the rest of your the players that you say you would get rid of? I think you're on 4. You said White, Odegaard, Calafiori, and
Odegaard is the next one. I said White, Jesus, Saka, Trossard, Martinelli. So that's 5. I would sell that scrubby captain because that captain's one of the worst captains in Premier League history and in our history because he's not a captain. And yeah, Frank is wank because he's useless. I mean, Thomas the Tank Engine, by the way. More like Thomas the Wank Engine, mate, if in future.
Wank.
I said Odegaard because the guy's a scrub. Obviously, to be honest with you, it's tough. Who else to sell? Let me see. Odegaard. I'll sell Marino as well because Marino is absolutely garbage. I don't know. People talk about the makeshift striker. We don't need that PR about makeshift striker. It's not enough. That's Marino. That's the 8th player.
Okay.
Yeah. I just feel like with Marino is the fact that people would say, oh, but he's the makeshift striker. I don't care about it. In the summer, get me a backup striker and stop with this false 9. Yeah, Trossard's a better false 9 than Marino. We don't need to see, Marino just, being in the box. He's not that, bro. The guy's a centre mid, and when you play him there, he don't do good. Oh, but he scored a hat trick.
Oh,
Back once again, and he's
looks as though the Marino fan club is out to get poor Khawaja.
Yeah. Poor Khawaja, man. The fucking mutants are after him. So let me pose this question to you guys. Are we one hand on the trophy? Or are we still all a little nervous on how the rest of the league will go? Because I think we got one hand on the league, to be honest with you. I've said since I was on Waffle Don show in October, and big up to the Waffle Don every time. I said I think Arsenal's got one hand on the trophy at this point. I know we got 8 games left, but City I think is due to drop more points. And I just don't think. I think the one good thing about the scenario that we're in right now is I'm starting to think less and less that if we lose the Carabao Cup, we'll blow the league. I'm starting to think that because we're back up to 7, even though there's a game in hand, and yes, they could beat Palace and we go and we're only 4 points clear, I think we still have a hand on the trophy because I don't think it's a guarantee that City's not going to drop points. I'll leave it up to you guys. Whoever wants to go. Is it one hand on the trophy or is it still all caution ahead?
It's still not enough because we're still 7 points clear. We should have been at least 15 by now. We should have not been in this situation, Gianni, in the first place. If we had beaten Nottingham Forest away, Liverpool at home, Liverpool twice, if we had beaten Brentford away, Wolves away, 2-0 up and we threw it away, if we'd stopped playing this Haram Bull FC, anti-football, Haram Bull FC, if we'd stopped playing Haram Bull FC, we would have been at 15, 16 points clear, and I would have not worried about it. Now we're in a situation now where we are still saying, we're still in the situation where we're still not confident because 7 points is still short. It's still not enough. If it was 15, if we had won our games comfortably, I would have not been nervous. I think we'll walk the league if we had been in that position. But now it's still not enough because that game in hand, it's still not enough. We got to win our games. I'm sorry. The more City drop points, you just got to keep winning games. And if they lose that form and we keep winning, we win the league. If we somehow win this league, I'll be happy. But I'm sorry. If you want to win the league again next season, you can't play like this. Sorry. You can't be parking the bus all the time against Brighton that are 13th in the table. I mean, you can't. Come on, bro. You can't just be 1-0 up and park the bus. You can't be if you want to win league titles, you can't just go defensive. But defense wins you titles. Is that it? Really? Is that how we're gonna defend like this? Are we gonna keep playing like this? Because guess what? Defense will get shaky. Our defense has been shaky at times. It's actually you can cause them problems. They are shaky. They will have bozo moments. And I feel like with this league title, 22 years without a league title, it feels like that these top gooners are now saying it's a better era than George Graham. I heard that from AFTV. They said that it's the better.
No. Okay.
It's a hell with AFTV.
Don't bring that bullshit up. I don't want to hear no nonsense like that, Kawaja.
I agree with Gianni. I agree with Kawaja. I mean, if we beat Forest, Liverpool, Wolves, and Brentford, we would have won that league easily. But now we are in this predicament. We are 7 points clear, but let's not forget we still got to play Man City at the Etihad and in the League Cup final. And to your point, Gianni, if Man City beat us in the League Cup and win that title, then that could be a huge damage to us winning the Premier League because Man City will be fired up now. Because now that they've got their hands on the League Cup, this will give them the power to go on and get that Premier League title. Because now this is no time for us to be defending our 1-goal lead. We need to go out and start destroying teams because against Brighton, we didn't even. The one time we threatened to test Brighton was Bukayo Saka's goal. And what did that lead us? That led us to nothing because throughout the whole 90 minutes, we were defending our 1-goal lead. And Gabriel, big up to him. He is the only player that can walk off of the IMAX with his head held high. He was the only one that was keeping the defense stable and doing his job. Mosquera, for me, was absolutely terrible in that game. Lucky not to be sent off. And Capie tried a bit. He did try at least to have a go, but it didn't all work out for him. But I'm still on his side. I still rate Nketiah. Declan Rice as well. He's been our one-man midfield again because he's got to do all of Zubimendi's work. And this is what happens when Declan Rice, he loses the ball, but then he has to run back and tackle it again. And this is why Declan Rice is the only midfielder that is carrying our midfield. Zubimendi can't do nothing because he gets the ball and there's 2 Brighton players pressing him, and that's not it. And as I said before, Zubimendi is good at going forward, but defensively, He gets pressed too easily. And we found that out yesterday against Brighton. And what made it even more embarrassing, guys, was the fact that Jorginho Ruter showed Victor Gyökeres on how to hold up the ball properly. Because Gyökeres didn't do that. He didn't hold up the ball, and he didn't even try and have a go for himself. Ruter was the only striker trying to have a go for them, but it didn't work out. So this is why we need to be careful. We need to start acting like Premier League title challengers now, because the games we've got coming up after we play Mansfield in the FA Cup on Saturday and Bayer Leverkusen on Wednesday, the games aren't going to be easy, because we've got to entertain Everton at the Emirates, and David Moyes is somebody that who knows on how to counter Arteta's every move. Because remember, Moyes was the one that took Arteta under his wing and made him into a player. So Moyes knows everything about Arteta's weaknesses. And then after that, we've got a League Cup final against Man City on the 22nd of March. It is a good chance for us to win the League Cup, but I'm still a bit worried on how Man City will turn up as well in that final too, because I still have nightmares from the 2018 League Cup final where Man City smoked us 3-0 in Wenger's last year. So it could all come back to this time, but I still think we can win the League Cup. But we better not score one goal and then just retreat back and invite Man City back into the match. No, we should be destroying Man City. Once we get one goal, then we need to start attacking and scoring more goals, because if we get one goal and retreat back and invite the opposition back into the game, then that's it. Our chances of winning the title, it's done.
Nat, what's your opinion? One hand on the cup, or still moving cautious?
I'm kind of 50-50 Lamar settings, just keeping things a bit like balanced, like keeping a level head. Do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We're in a very good position now, but we don't have to play a league game in the next week or so. Basically, our next game is at Everton at home. We've got Mansfield. Whichever team we pick, we should be beating them either way. I'm not going to say it's easy, because I've said before, I said yesterday, last night, there's no easy games from now till the end of the season. And then we've got Leverkusen away. We should be putting them away. Really, let's be honest. They're not the same Leverkusen as they were before. And yeah, for me, I'm of that thought process where if we can just, go back to basics, do the fundamentals, do you know what I'm saying? Stop fucking about at the back. These players, if they're being told, like the David Rayas and the rest of the back four, Zubimendi, Declan Rice as well, Eza doing his foolishness as well, stop listening to this fucking manager. If you know you're going to play, when we get the ball, do what needs to be done. He's not going to hook you all off. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's what I say too.
Yeah, why be scared shitless of him? Do you know what I'm saying? If he don't deliver, he's gone. Even if he wins the league, he might be gone. Depending on the way Berta's moving. Like if Berta has a Diego Simeone in mind, if he has a Luis Enrique in mind, Hansi Flick in mind. Do you know what I'm saying? If we go back to Don Carlito, I would still love him at the club. Then so be it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Arteta's got 1 year left on his contract, so I hear. Don't renew it. But if you are going to renew it, just bin his ass when we start falling down the league table at the start of next season, which will happen. So I'm not getting giddy yet. I'm not getting excited. I just take it game by game, just like life, innit? Just take it step by step. Just take the opportunities. Put in that extra effort where need be, and you will be rewarded. Do you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get anywhere if you just sit on your fat ass and just hope that things will come your way. Do you know what I'm saying? That's Arteta's mindset. But you know he's been spoiled, Ron. He's basically a fucking trust fund baby, and trust fund babies, yeah, they don't succeed, and if they do, it's very short lived. Do you know what I'm saying? The only way is down, and that's where Lego heads go on in. Do you know what I'm saying? Best believe that. So my thing is, you know, we're doing well, you know, in the table, we're doing well, still being in all the cup competitions, but these players need to fix up. They need to grow a pair of fucking bollocks. Nuts on the table, Kenny Ken settings and all of that. Fuck this manager, Bun, AirPod Albert, even Heinz and the set piece coach as well. The players need to do the business. It's about them. And it's about us getting behind the players. Fuck the manager, fuck the backroom staff. It's about the players. Us and the players working in tandem, hand in hand, getting over the fucking line. Yeah? If we get over the fucking line and them other cunts fucking Spursy, yeah, go down as well, I'm raving. I am celebrating. I am raving. It's a win-win. Or as we say over here, winner, winner, chicken dinner, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? Gotta be done, bruv. Gotta be done. I'm here for it.
And Manny, to you, same thing. Is it still caution, or do you think it's one hand on the trophy for Arsenal? And then I have a question that I think is going to be a very interesting question after that one.
For me, it's Lenny Kravitz settings. It ain't over till it's over. And we must not sweat on any of the teams we're going to be facing in this run-in. Bournemouth are a team that enjoy playing attacking football. They did the double over us last season when, you know, our defense had absolute stinkers, all of them, including David Raya. And they've got this Brazilian wonder kid named Ryan, who's, you know, made a wonderful impact so far in the Premier League. And, you know, their commitment to continuing, they continue to play the way Antonio Areola wants them to play, and they're a joy to watch. And if we try to, you know, be a little bit, you know, defensive the way we were against Brighton, then we're going to get quite literally backsides handed to us, because they've got players who can quite literally take the game away from us. We can't sleep on Fulham. We definitely can't sleep against Everton. So simple as that. It ain't over till it's over. We cannot afford to look too far ahead. Just concentrate on the game we've got coming up. Be honest with ourselves. Be humble. Stay humble, as Holland would say, and just do what we have to do. And, you know, if we end up winning, even Holland will have to eat his humble pie in addition to his tomahawk steaks and raw milk. But it's not over. It is not over. It ain't over till it's over. Lenny Kravitz settings. Let us not get too carried away.
Chike, as a City fan, do you think Arsenal have one hand on the title, or are you same way, it's not over till it's over?
As my dad told me once before, it ain't over until the fat lady sings. And I don't hear any fat ladies singing. So until Arsenal beat us at the Etihad, anything is possible. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. All right. Now I got this. This is going to be a question that might rile everybody up, but
oh god,
that's good. If best case scenario for me is we do a domestic treble, because I'm still not a believer that Arsenal are going to win the Champions League, and
even though they have the easiest draw.
No draw is easy because you got to get it done. Champions League knockout stages is a different ball game to group stages. So, because again, you're a City fan. How many times have you guys got an easy draw and you guys managed to fuck it up? So there's nothing.
It's true.
You got to get the business done. If Arsenal win a double, let's say Arsenal win the League Cup and they win the Premier League trophy, we run it again next year. Now, as I've said, I think the referees are going to come together with the ownership. They're going to stop all this nonsense with corner kicks. And I think that could definitely hurt us. However, if the manager does something that he's never done before and he actually gets us back to playing open football, and let's say we are in a chance to possibly win back-to-back Prems. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm just throwing this out there. What does Arteta have to do for you to say, okay, you're not a checkbook manager? Obviously, Nat, you've alluded to the Champions League. Let's say he doesn't win the Champions League this year, and let's say, for example, let's say he finishes third, Liverpool and City come back, they overtake us. But say we do the domestic cup double next year. Do you continue with Arteta and say, okay, things are starting to come together now, 6 years later? Or do you just push the button and say, listen, you got us the Premier League, you ended the drought, you got us 3 other trophies now with that in these 2 years, obviously the FA Cup from before. Is it time to let him go? And if it is time to let him go, do you look at him differently as a manager because now he has technically 5 trophies to his name? Or is it still, nah, you got to get the fuck out of here. Thanks, but just get out.
Yeah, just push the button, man. Push the button. Like the way he's been conducting himself, the way he's been moving, how can you have that level of fucking arrogance, yeah, when you've only won 1 FA Cup with no fans? You got no fans, all of them ones there. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, how can you have this level of narcissism, bro? I don't, like I said before, and I'll keep saying it, right? He wins the Champions League, he can stay. Anything else at this point, £6 billion? Sorry, 6 years, £1 billion spent? Nah, get the fuck out of here, man. Get out of here. Get out of here and all of that shit. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not having it, bro. I'm not having it. It's like, you know, we should be at a point now where we're looking at the Champions League and are like, you know what? We can win this. But we're not. Why? Because this manager has ran these players into the ground. He's treated the ballers like shit because he don't rate ballers. Only a scrub rates fucking ballers. Do you know what I'm saying? Pep is kind of a little bit like that as well, but nowhere near as bad as fucking Lego head.
So real quick to that. Say, and I'm just trying to say devil's advocate because you know how I feel. I don't want him to stay as the manager.
Mhm.
But let's say he doesn't win it this year. He stays on next year. We have a fall off. But let's say a miracle happens and Arsenal pull off the Champions League. They don't do a domestic cup double, but somehow he wins the Champions League next year. And we say, let's say Arsenal, well, it doesn't matter where Arsenal finish because we still got Champions League football. Do you keep him on, or does it matter where you finish as well with the Champions League? Like, say, for example, next year we finish third, but we make it to the semifinal of the Champions League again and we do a domestic cup double, or we finish sixth because we fell off that hard, but we walk away with the Champions League. Are you keeping him after that? Or are you thanks but no thanks, even though you got the Champions League, you still got to go because we fell to sixth?
I think after this season, like, it will be done in my eyes. Do you know what I'm saying? Even finishing sixth, basically what Chelsea done. Finish sixth, win the champs. Do you know what I'm saying? Look at Roberto Di Matteo, right?
Right, exactly. That's basically what I'm kind of alluding to with that.
Yeah, exactly. No, I got you, Johnny. Like, I know where you're going with this. It's calm, brother. Like, look at Roberto Di Matteo, right? Wins the Champions League, and I believe he won the FA Cup as well in that season. Finished sixth.
Yes.
I think, yeah. Finished sixth. What happens the following year? Not even the following year, the following season. He gets axed.
Yep.
He's done at it. For me, I'll tell you, it would be the same thing. The reason why I'm so ruthless is because this is elite level sport. When you're on millions and millions, Arteta's on 15 million. It's not even like he's on £1 million a year, which is still a lot of money.
Right.
Most people aren't on 100k. Most people are barely even on 50k a year. We're starving out here, bruv.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to get scraps. Some have more than others. It is what it is, depending on the situation. And you have these fucking pricks that feel sorry for millionaires, players, and in this particular case, manager. Now I'm not hearing it.
I hear it.
Like, to be honest, we should be getting our axes and pitchforks like back in the day. Get the cauldron pot. Do you know what I'm saying? And start cooking these motherfuckers for real. That's what we used to do. We used to do.
We're dealing that with the Chicago Bears.
So what?
We're dealing that with the Chicago Bears. You got fucking idiots. What you said right there is a great point that people are fucking trying to make up excuses for millionaires and shit. The Bears, these motherfuckers, the Bears, the ownership doesn't want to spend any money because they're worried about what their property tax is going to be worth for a new stadium. But the team is worth $9 billion. You can't take a loan out to build a new fucking stadium.
You can't take $3 billion out to loan to build. No, you can't feel sorry for these assholes. You can't.
No, it's all fucking bullshit.
It's bollocks.
Didn't mean to interrupt you, but
it's all for the portfolio. Like, look at the Kroenkes, innit? The Kroenkes use Arsenal as an asset to buy other assets.
Yep.
You know, they've already got the franchises and all that, but before they even had
LA Rams, the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, like when they had their first franchise or whatever, they had other, you know, hands in the cookie jars. Do you know what I'm saying? Other hands in different cookie jars and shit. That's just the nature of business.
Yep.
But at the same time, it's fucking common sense. Anyone that's been in the sales world, even for 1 minute, like I have, do you know what I'm saying, understands these principles, innit? If you understand how money moves, if you understand how the world works, the real world works, do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You'll get it and you'll understand this. But most people don't understand it. And if they do, then it's even worse. And I lean to the latter. Because a lot of them motherfuckers on them other channels, we know them ones. We know the usual culprits, innit? Yeah? They know better. But they chat bollocks, innit? For this. Brown envelope matrix and all of that shit. Do you know what I'm saying? And this is my fucking problem. That's why this manager's been here for way too long. Done the same with Arsene Wenger. Didn't back Unai Emery when he wasn't backed. He wasn't my first choice, but he was way better than the alternative, which was Lego Head, bro, because I never wanted him. Never wanted him as a player. Never wanted him as a manager. Do you know what I'm saying? The guy is fucking shit. People look at shit and think it's brownies, bro. It's shit. You cannot. How dare you? How dare you think that shit is like brownies? Do you know what I'm saying? Not even the edible brownies. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, not even regular brownies. Just shit. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sick and tired of people thinking that the greatest thing in the world is that when it's actually this shit.
Agreed.
Shit plus shit equals shit. Shit plus shit never equals good. Never, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? It just baffles my mind why people rate shit. It's the same reason why a lot of these guys are in unfulfilling lives and relationships, regardless of how much money they got in the bank or whatever. If they got assets, businesses, whatever, they're soulless. They're hollow, bro. No soul, no fucking ounce of bollocks, bro. You see it, bro. If I'm walking down and they clock me and I clock them, they're putting their head down or they're walking across the other side of the street. That's already happened multiple times anyway. But look, the game's the game. Sol Campbell, is it an underbelly colour thing? Look, it is what it is. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I understand energy, bro. These guys don't have fuck all about them, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's the same with this manager. That's why they back him. It's losers backing losers, bro. Only a scrub rates scrubs, innit? Losers prop up losers. This is the problem with this world, innit? The world that we're living in. This is why everything's gone down. The money's gone down. The sport's gone down. Properties have gone up, but our wages are not even going up that much. So in a way, mentally, they're going down. It's all going downhill, bro. It's all going downhill, bro. Fuck society anyway. But the point I'm making is that the reason why I have high standards is because I expect that of myself. You know, if I'm not achieving, I'm not going to blame anyone but myself. But with these other motherfuckers, they're just like, oh, but it's his first job. It takes time. Get fucked. Get royally fucked. Do you know what I'm saying? Millionaires are millionaires for a fucking reason. Because they're shit houses. And you treat them as such. An asshole is a fucking asshole. A bitch is a bitch. A prick is a prick. You treat them as such. I call it, you know, Johnny, I call it how I see it. So do you. So do the rest of you pretty much in your own way. We call it how we see it. If I see a duck, it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck. It's a fucking duck, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not a gazelle. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not a panther. It's not a tiger, bro. It's a fucking duck, bro. They think Arteta is the Lord and Savior himself. I mean, Jesus Christ, man! Like it's
Lord
too
and
much.
Savior Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
He's the Messiah, by the way. He's the Messiah. He took us from the pits of hell.
Okay, you'd be shocked, but he's not lying. A lot of these fans come up with crazy shit for this guy, and it doesn't make any sense because, again, if you can't hold the same standards for your club to other clubs, then it's bullshit. Especially if you're a big club. If you're a big club, you have to hold yourself to certain standards. There's no getting around it. It just is. It just is what it is. You know, like, and that's what I say. That's one of the biggest problems in the Premier League nowadays are the big clubs, the traditional big clubs outside of Liverpool this year. They just fucked up. But the big clubs are not acting like big clubs anymore. Arsenal's not. Arsenal, I mean, let's all be very honest here. Has he found a cheat code with this fucking corner kick shit? Yeah. If we win it, that's what it takes to get us to win because it's not illegal, fuck it. I'll take it for a year. I just need to see a Premier League trophy. But is it long term? Fuck no. It's not. If Liverpool get a real right back, if Liverpool get a real fucking right back and potentially 2 decent center backs and a better coach, Liverpool's back in the title race next year. Everybody knows this. Injuries is what's derailed Liverpool's season. If you get Isak here, they may not like it. Big up Ozzy. And Ozzy, if you want to hop on, I'm gonna put the link in the chat. If you want to hop on, my guy. Big up Ozzy every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Like what Abhijit said. They didn't even have Isak. I mean, here, you said his name to possibly come to City. I'll give you something scary. Imagine if Simeone went to Liverpool.
Oh.
Wow.
If you got Ekitike, if you play that 4-4-2 with Ekitike and Isak as the top line fucking strikers, you move on from fucking Salah because Salah's not going to get that presidential treatment from fucking Simeone. Simeone, you slap the fuck out of him.
Yeah. You know, if I'm Salah should go and play in the Saudi league because this is where players who are like in the end of their careers, they probably go to Saudi. Like take Ronaldo, for example. He's like, we don't know if he will retire or if he's still going to play. He's balling up. He's still at Saudi. So if I'm Salah, I'm going to Saudi.
I think somebody was saying that move is trying to be in the works, that they're trying to get him to go to Saudi after this year.
Yeah.
I mean, here, if you get him to go to Saudi at the end of the year, if you get him to go to Saudi at the end of the year, you just got to find yourself a right winger. I mean, actually, you got to find 2 wingers because Cody Gakpo, good God. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Yeah, Slot has this connection with these Dutch players. Like, I don't like.
I listen, for me, I go get a right back and a left back. You move fucking Frimpong up to the right wing and you go get a new left winger. Or you start Verts at the left wing and say, have at it. Because I think if you put Simeone in charge of fucking Liverpool, I think Simeone would be a motherfucker at that Liverpool.
Yeah. You mentioned about the 4-4-2, Johnny. You put instead of wingers, you could have just like the old school midfielders in it with a bit more freedom when they have the ball. So you could have Verts on the left. You could have Frimpong right mid, because let's be real, he's not a right back.
He's a winger. He's a winger, yeah.
He's a winger, right mid, at least, but he's not a defensive player. He can't defend. He's not all that. I hear it. And then you have the Ekitike and Isak, which I both rate, by the way. Like technically, I both rate them. I've always rated both. Well, especially Isak, I've always rated him. And then in their midfield, they got McAllister and Gravenberch. Yeah. Solid midfield partnership. I thought they missed the trick with Timber, because Timber went to Marseille, Quinton. Yeah, he went to Marseille. If Liverpool got him, maybe they would have been a little bit better, maybe, but it would definitely been an upgrade on Szoboszlai, who he's been playing at right back, because he figured out that Frimpong weren't it at right back. Shock. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
And you know what? Szoboszlai can play the rotation winger as well, because that's what he did at Leipzig. It wasn't just him playing as a number 10 at Leipzig. He played as a winger in that 4-2-2 that they played. So he can go out onto the wing if he has to give them some ability to move through that whole thing. I think Liverpool can come back and be a problem. They're only two sides. First of all, Kirk has just showed that even though all them top gooners try to say, "Oh, Premier League proven," that doesn't mean you're going to adjust to the pressure from going to Bournemouth to fucking Liverpool. That showed that that's not just an easy situation to go ahead and fix. And I think that, like you said, I think they definitely need a right winger, unless you do a madness and go with somebody who's a center back as the left back and just tell Frimpong to run wild on the right-hand side, which you could do, but I just don't know if that fits.
Yeah, so Boschlei could do like the Beck's role, innit? You know, just be a right mid, spray the balls and whatever. You can have a few long shots. We know he can take set pieces. Do you know what I mean? So that's an option if you don't want to go with Frimpong. If it's a 5 at the back or 3 at the back, Frimpong is more of a wing back anyway from Leverkusen days, which is why he got the move in the first place. So they have options. You know, but what you said about Kerkez, you know, struggling to step up. Let's be honest, uncomfortable conversation here, guys. Aren't we kind of seeing that with Eberezer? Now, don't get it twisted. I rate him highly, but he has struggled, didn't it? Outside of Tottenham, do you think that jump up from Palace to Arsenal, even with the manager trying to sabotage him, even with that, do you know what I'm saying?
Because I think the manager sabotaging him outweighs his inability to step up to the level. Because there's been two. Because here's my thing: any manager with common sense, he did what he did against Spurs. He shouldn't have been sat for 5 games afterwards. He should have at least got the game time after the Spurs game when he got the hat trick. So that was already sabotage. Then this game against Brighton, he was playing as a number 10, but then it's the same old thing with what's hindering Odegaard. A number 10 should be playing directly behind the striker, not starting the offensive play just outside of your own 18-yard box, like I'm seeing Eze do the same thing with Odegaard.
Yeah,
so
like quarterback settings.
Exactly. Yeah. For me, I think the sabotaging of the manager is 85% of the problem here. I do think Eze has struggled. I'm not going to disagree with you and say that he hasn't struggled to move up, but I'm putting that more so on the manager. Again, every number 10 that we can talk about has started further up the pitch and could at least be a problem for you to be able to go quick roll-offs. You know, if you have a striker like Gyökeres, big up Ozzy. Big up Ozzy. Appreciate you stopping by, my guy. But if you have like if Odegaard wins the ball in the air, right? If you just do a traditional 4-2-3-1, how many times have we seen a striker win the ball in the air and pass it back to the 10? He rolls off and the number 10 puts a ball in behind and he's got a chance on goal. We're nullifying ourselves just from doing that because of how much further back the number 10 position, which is why I think it's more of a sabotage on Eze to play much like Odegaard. Because Odegaard's played further back now. Because when we played open attacking play in 22-23, he had room to run into, and Arteta said, go ahead, run into the room. He's not doing that no more. So I think it's on the manager to why Eze hasn't looked as good as what we thought. For what's we jump back out. Ozzy, jump back in when you can.
Fair enough. I'm gonna bounce, guys, by the way, but big up
Master, man. Big up, man.
Big up that.
Big up Chike, big up Quadra, big up Manny,
big up my guy, man.
Big up Master, my man.
Best, take care, and come on, you Gunners. And down goes the Spurs, innit? Down.
Right. Yeah, down.
I'll see you guys on the weekend, I'm sure. So onwards and upwards. Gianni, tune into the Italy-England game if you ever get time to, innit?
When is it?
It kicks off at 4:40 UK time, so it'll be, what is it, like 11 or 10?
I think it's like 11:40, something like that in America. So.
But since it's in Chicago, it'll probably be 10:30 because that's the Central Time, right?
Which day is it?
Okay, fine, fair.
It's Saturday the 7th, so it's after the Arsenal game. So the Arsenal game's on earlier in the morning, and then the Italy-England rugby game, the Six Nations, that will be on after that. And it's in Rome as well.
I think I'm bottling wine. I think we're bottling some wine.
Fair, yeah. We'll check the highlights in it, but I don't be surprised if Italy won. So you might enjoy it a lot more.
Listen,
than
if Italy beats England in fucking rugby, you guys got problems because us
we've already got problems.
rugby.
You know what I'm saying, bro? I want him out like Arteta, bro. I want him out like Scrubgate. He's got to go, bro. He's useless. But anyway. Enough of that. Big up, thanks, Johnny, for having me back once again for the Renegade Master. Make sure you like and subscribe to everyone on there, especially Johnny, for putting on this magnificent show. And I will see you guys on the weekend. Take care. All the best. Good night and peace out.
Cheers, Nat. Take care of yourself, brother.
So I got a question here from AFC Gunner TV. If Pep leaves City, where do you guys think he will go? The floor is for anybody who wants to ask real quick.
I think he'll quit club management and look for an international job.
Maybe possibly England manager. Maybe if Tuchel leaves, maybe England manager. If Tuchel leaves,
no, that's not going to happen because I'm reminded of actually an interview that was done when, it was Arsenal against Barcelona, if I remember correctly, and Jack Wilshere had a brilliant game, where he did. He was basically just balling around the park as Arsenal beat Barcelona. But when asked if he was impressed by Wilshere, Guardiola said, "Nah, not really. I work with much better youngsters on a day-to-day basis here." And I'm not sure that he, with the exception of a precious few, maybe the ones who's played for him, and even then they've been, boosted out and they've been marginalised. I don't think he rates the English talent, so I don't see him managing England. But it could be sometime near the future that he goes on to manage Spain, just like Mourinho will end up managing Portugal, because his club days are done and dusted, especially, whether it was with with Benfica, let's be honest, he got lucky that he got into the next round, the playoffs, because of his goalkeeper saved him. Otherwise, Marseille would have gone ahead of him. But that whole Prestiani issue has really shown that he's cracked a little bit. Yeah. Because when you have a situation where one of your players has literally, it's very easy to say that, he's been tried in the public court of law and found guilty before being proved innocent, but the circumstantial evidence is damning. And having worked with many great players who happen to be black over the years, Mourinho should have known better. And so, the way he handled himself was pretty poor, but then are we really surprised? This is the same person who, in his second and final stint at Chelsea, got into a huge conflict with the club doctor, who happened to be a lady. And then that sort of hastened the ill will towards him, and he ended up getting his marching orders, before the end of the season. And that season, mind you, his predecessor at Chelsea, Claudio Ranieri, went on to win the league and ended up having a guard of honor at Stamford Bridge. Mourinho should have been there to see it, to be witness to that. But what could you do? But I just think that, having managed at Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and now Manchester City, it takes its toll on you. And there's a reason why Ancelotti took the safety net of the Brazil job. I just think international football probably where we see Guardiola winding up soon. If not Spain, though. If not with Spain, I don't see him managing any other country.
Italy?
No, God no.
Absolutely not. I see him going to the Italian league, if I'm being quite honest with you.
Really?
100%.
You don't think he would suit the style of play? You don't think that Italy, if he joined Italy, would he suit the players, his system, the way he plays? You don't think that the players that Italy have, don't you think that Guardiola can use them players to suit his style of play?
As a national team coach?
Yeah.
No, he'll never be the national team coach of Italy.
I was about to say, no way.
I see Pep going to Italy as in the league. I see Pep.
Really?
In all honesty, I'm being so serious when I say this.
Wow.
I see Pep Guardiola either going on to coach Juventus or coaching Inter. I think what Pep will end up doing, just hear me out. Okay. I see Pep taking a sabbatical for a year like he's done with all of his other teams. And I think he waits to see what the financial situations are going to be in Italy for the teams. Juventus, unless Elkan and everybody else that runs that club has a serious look in the mirror and they realize where they are financially and they make moves to fix their financial situation, I could see him going to Juventus. 100% I could see him going to Juventus. Now, at the same time, Inter is the question for me because Inter right now has already started paying some of their debt off. They've come into an agreement with AC Milan to where they now both own the San Siro and are in a situation of trying to build a new stadium for them to control everything. Now, their deal with this purchase of the San Siro is they still have to kick back money to the city of Milan, but it's nowhere near as much as what it was when they didn't own the San Siro. And Inter has grown their total revenue of the club tenfold in these last 6 years. If Inter Milan can keep majority of these mainstay players and keep chugging along for 2 more years, I could see Pep Guardiola going to Inter and rejuvenating that entire team again. I think it comes down to those two. AC Milan's got too much financial problems. Their ownership is not serious about them winning. There's already talk that Zlatan's going to get sacked at the end of the year from the sporting director position. There's talk that Massimiliano Allegri may be going to Real Madrid to be the new coach.
I heard about that.
AC Milan could be in a fucking shit show by the end of this year, which I pray happens. Juventus and Inter for me, Juve more so because of who they are as a club, and potentially if they straighten out 2 years of their finances, they could fix shit. And Inter has just been the big team. I mean, listen, Napoli's won 2 Scudettes, but we haven't brought in any more trophies like Inter has. Inter, once they win the Scudette this year, and if they pull off the Coppa Italia, they've won 9 trophies in 6 years. So they're already building that foundation for a manager like Pep to come in and take them up to the next level to where potentially they're contending for Champions League again. So I could see Juve or Inter getting Pep for a couple of years, but it's all going to depend on the finances.
And if Pep even wants to go there.
Pep has said he wants to manage in Italy. Pep has said before in the past that he would manage in Italy. There's some feedback I'm getting from somebody. But I think Pep could definitely end up in Italy. I'm not ruling it. And to be honest with you, don't rule this out. I wouldn't be surprised if Pep goes to Saudi. I would not be surprised if Pep goes to Saudi. Would not be surprised in that whatsoever. Ozzy, what's going on, my guy? How you been, man?
Wow.
Yo, big up, man. I've been good. I hope everyone's good. Big up the chat. Big up everyone on the panel. I thought I just tune in, see what's going on.
Oh boy.
Well, Black Crow just put this in the chat real quick. Apparently, Arsenal is looking into potentially extending Odegaard's contract. If Arsenal extends Odegaard's contract, I'm fucking done with this shit.
I mentioned this earlier, Gianni. I mentioned this to you earlier.
You did, yes.
I mean, what the fuck, dude? How does this?
And I want him gone, man. I don't think that's gonna happen. For me, 3 players I can say confidently I don't want to see next season, regardless of what happens, is Odegaard, Martinelli, and Trossard. I want them all gone.
Extend it, Ozzy. I gave everybody 8 players. Who would be the 8 players you would get rid of? Those are the 3.
Get rid of.
Yeah.
Those 3. You know, think else. Who else would I get rid of? If I had Jesus as well, that's 4. The other thing I wanted to mention, we've spent 170 million on strikers with combined wages a week, 750,000. Yeah. And all of them are shit. Yeah. Just food for thought. 170 million in transfer fees and combined wages 750,000 a week, and none of them could get 20 goals a season in this league. For me, that's just diabolical. So yeah, 4 play. Yeah, so Jesus added to the list. I'd get rid of Havertz. That's 5. Who else? 3 more. Who else? Madueke is rubbish. 6. 2 more players. Calafiori probably could add in there. That's 7. You know, we don't need injury-prone players, man. 1 week you're fit, you're out in for 4 weeks. Who else would I add? I think Ben White, it's time to go. And with Ben White, he's just done, man. He's just not what he used to be. He's one of them players, you know, I was fond of when he was playing for us week in, week out. And he's another player that's been kind of destroyed by this manager, unfortunately, when he was playing and he needed surgery.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, because of that, I'd have to add him to the list. As much as I like the guy and he's been a good, decent player for us, to be honest, I can't fault him for the service that he's given the team. But I don't need any passengers in this team. I don't need players just making up the numbers. You know what I mean? That's my 8 players, Gianni. That's my 8 players gone. Yeah. Odegaard, Trossard, Martinelli, Jesus, Havertz, Madueke, Calafiori, and Ben White.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. The Odegaard, listen, I'll put my car on a fucking ship and fly over to London, get my car off the ship and drive his ass somewhere. Just as long as he gets the fuck out of it. He's shit, man. Odegaard.
No, I hear it.
He's a failed wonder kid, Gianni, because he wasn't good for them. He wasn't good for Sociedad, and he's certainly not good for Arsenal. So what makes Odegaard special?
Who honestly called him a fucking wonder kid?
Real Madrid, because they signed him at 15.
I don't know who did that, but someone must have called him a wonder kid for some reason. He does not even look like a wonder kid. There's a reason why Real Madrid took him out of the team because you know he's not good enough. And either way, don't worry, Macy, because our Odegaard fans are crying as we speak, by the way. So they're getting rattled, by the way.
Yeah, and Kawaja, our fan base have the audacity to call Odegaard the next Dennis Bergkamp, like the absolute disgrace. Like, our fan base are nothing more than Muppets. Why can't they just watch video clips of Dennis Bergkamp and see on how he was able to like steal a show and play proper football than this scrubby captain?
He's got to go down as the worst captain in Arsenal.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, he is.
Honestly, man, he's got to be the worst captain. How long has he been here for?
I don't understand. Like,
was it 5 seasons?
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, I think he joined the club in the pandemic year when we bought him, and we also bought Matt Ryan as well on loan from Brighton.
Because he was there for 1 season, then we signed.
Yeah, we bought him and Matt Ryan at the same time, both on loan from their respective clubs.
No, he's fucking shit, dude.
You know, I've said this like numerous times back in the day, yeah. If a player is not good enough for these teams that we're competing with, let alone the teams that we want to be on par with, like Real Madrid and, you know, these teams that have won hella trophies, then they shouldn't be good for us regardless.
Facts.
I don't want scrubs, man. We keep buying Chelsea scrubs. We keep buying these other scrubs that are not good enough, man. And the thing is, we've spent so much money on dead ball players, yeah, is we have to keep spending money to replace it, and it's not being good enough. Like, if you look under this manager's tenure, yeah, we've signed about 40 plus players. That's 4 squads.
Yeah.
If you say, for argument's sake, yeah, let's say we've just signed 44 players for argument's sake, yeah. I mean, I don't know the numbers like to the T, but we've definitely signed about 40 odd players. Yeah, let's just say 44 players, isn't it? That's 4 bloody teams in 6 years, just to kind of get to a title-winning squad. But for me, it's not good enough, you know. Like, for me, like if I give you my perspective on the season and going forward, we should be pissing this season like 15, 16 points, man.
Facts.
Like,
I just looked it up. He has signed 42 total players in his entirety of being the manager of the club. He signed 42 players, with 30 of them being guys that he tried putting into the first 11. That's insanity.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wasn't too far off. You know what I mean? It's almost
42 players.
42 players in 6 years.
It is
That's
crazy.
7 squads.
Yeah, 7 renditions of a squad. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. It's not good enough. It's fucking bullshit.
But not only do I blame Arteta for signing these squads, I blame Edu as well, because Edu was part of that, part of the reason why we kept buying all these leftover players from Chelsea, signing Odegaard on a loan move, then turn it into a permanent move, and all these other useless players that we bought over the years. It's all not only Arteta's responsible, Edu as well, because I will never forgive Edu for buying all these useless players, because Edu. And another thing I can't stand with Edu is the fact that he's posting out Instagram videos of him doing his jet ski, like flipping kangaroo burgers, like sucking his daughter's nails. Like, what the fuck is? You're supposed to be a sporting director, but you're going on social media doing all this jet skiing and kangaroo burgers and sucking your daughter's toenails. You're an absolute disgrace, Edu. I never rated you from the Invincible season, and I never rated you as a director of Arsenal, so you can fucking go to hell.
Yeah, he's talking about how Fabio Vieira was a good player and all that. I was watching. He was like, he was a really good
Vitinha
player.
was on the fucking team. We had a chance to sign Vitinha for cheap, and we signed Fabio Vieira. Look at that.
And another thing, Edu came out and said, because when somebody asked him, do you have a strategy for the 2021-22 season? And then he said, oh, I don't have any strategy, because I admit I signed the wrong players, but we have our targets this season is top 4 and Champions League. He basically admitted to the whole world that Arsenal have no targets for this season.
Yeah, but even if you had targets, here's the problem. This is what a lot of people like to forget or leave out. Arteta, if we win the title, this will be the first year we've hit where we wanted to be for the targets that we've set out for a team. It'll be the first year that we've hit. Remember, we won the FA Cup. He picked up halfway through the season. He won the FA Cup. The next year, we were supposed to get top 6. He bottled that and finished 8th when he had us in 6th position. The following year, he had us in 3rd. We dropped to 5th.
Yeah.
And then we've missed out everything else. So if he wins the title this year, this is the first time in his entire time that we've gotten to the end of the line and got the goals that we wanted to. And to what Abhijit says, yeah, Edu's the same guy that said we're not spending 10 million on Vara and let Napoli sign him. Arsenal could have had Vara at the left wing. We wouldn't be looking for a new left winger right now if we had Vara.
Yeah, we've signed some diabolical players, man. I can't lie in this tenure of this manager.
Yeah.
Like, if we go through the names, I'm sure probably 60, 70% all scrubs, man.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, some of the signings we made, don't get me wrong, they were stepping stones.
Do that, Manny. Real quick, Ozzy. Manny's got to shoot. Manny, appreciate you hopping on, my guy.
Yeah,
big up, man. Take a
Big
good
up,
night, man.
Manny.
Hopefully, we'll extend this lead to where it'll be a little bit easier. But a little bit easier on the chest, and we won't be going through cardiac arrest like we did in that Brighton game. But yeah, man, always appreciate having you on. And not only let's win this fucking Premier League, but let's hope Spurs get fucking relegated.
Yeah, I mean, like, not that I care about Spurs, but most important thing is let's just win this. Let's win something. Let's make this season worthwhile. And I'm also going to say right now that even if he does win the league and the FA Cup, we have to take it only one season at a time because, you know, it's not sustainable, the football he's playing, and we have to make sure that we, you know, maintain our standards. But one thing I guarantee you we won't do is that we won't do a Spursy thing and sack the manager if he wins us the league. That would be the stupidest thing any club could do. It was the stupidest thing that Spurs could ever do. It's destroyed the morale of the players. It really made a lot of fans very angry. And if they do get relegated, then I think a lot of people are going to have to look back and say that they deserved it. But I don't care about them. Let's just win it. Big up and good night, guys. See you all soon.
Big up, Manny. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, good night, man.
Ozzy, what were you saying? Sorry to interrupt you. Just needed to let Manny out.
Yeah, no, I was saying like a lot of the players we signed, some of them were like good stepping stones to kind of get us to where we are, but we should have moved them on. Some of them stayed too long. Like when we signed Jesus and Zinchenko, they were good for that little period. But now, like we've spent what? You'd say about 70, 80 million on them both. You're going to end up with nothing for both of them. But a lot of the players we signed was just like, it was just Arteta finding out whether this player is good enough, whether he could do a job. Some of them have not, you know, not been able to do the job, and then he's just signed another player that's not been able. Like for example, we've signed like 7 left backs. Until this day, we haven't replaced the best left back that we already had when he was already there, Kieran Tierney.
Facts. He's killing it too with Celtic this year. He's fucking killing it with them. Imagine summer 24, we could have signed Douglas Luiz. I hear it with Douglas Luiz to a certain degree because at that time he was good, but he fell the fuck off when he went to Juventus. Yeah, Sterling, Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling, that signing is one of the worst signings I've ever seen in my life for Sterling to come to Arsenal. That dude was a fucking bum. Always was a fucking bum. He owes 90% of the money that he has to Kevin De Bruyne for putting the ball on a plate for him to just tap it in because that motherfucker sucks.
Remember the open goalie? I remember the open goal he missed against Lyon in the Champions League quarterfinal in 2020.
Brother, he did that every single time the pressure was on.
Yep.
Yeah.
In all the knockout games that Manchester City used to play in the Champions League before they finally won, how many fucking open goals did he miss? He sucked.
Yeah, but remember, Gianni, remember what our fan base said about the signing of Sterling? Oh, but he's younger than Chelsea, and Chelsea are paying 2/3 of his wages. Fuck off. I don't care about his wages.
I don't care about his age.
Yeah.
Raheem Sterling was dog shit. Always. Raheem Sterling's best year was when Liverpool was running for the fucking title. He was dog shit with City. All he was a tap-in merchant that had pace.
And he couldn't even tap balls in. That's the sad part.
You know, Sterling should never have joined Chelsea in the first place. He could have at least left to go and play for another European club. But
he went there for money. He went there for
money to stay in London.
Mm-hmm.
But another thing that made me pissed off in that 24-25 season, guys, was the fact that we bought in Norberto Neto from Bournemouth.
The goalkeeper.
Yeah,
I don't even remember him playing.
I thought we were signing Pedro Neto, but we instead got Norberto Neto from Bournemouth. I just don't understand. Like, I don't get it. Like,
Pedro Neto's nothing special to write about.
I know. I mean, that was the year we should have got him.
He's shit.
Yeah, that should have been we should have got Pedro Neto in that 24-25 season But instead, we ended up getting a scrubby goalkeeper named Nobeto Neto.
So we're at 3 hours right now. We're gonna do this one question, then we're gonna bolt because I actually got to go take care of some stuff. How confident with the draw that we got? Obviously, we got a very favorable draw in the Champions League. How confident are you guys that we will at least get back to the semifinal? And how confident are you that we could potentially win the Champions League? Ozzy, I'll start with you.
I mean, semi-final, we should get there, no question. I don't want to hear no buts and maybes. And it's not something I'd be happy just to get to. But considering, we've got Leverkusen, we should beat them. And then we either play in Sporting or is it Bido Glint? Like, I don't want to hear no ifs or buts or babies playing them teams. But we should beat them teams comfortably. Then we get to the prospect of Barcelona, and then it depends what Barcelona you get. Because you either get the Barcelona that got trashed by Atletico, and then you get the Barcelona that 2 days ago should have beat them like 6-0.
Yeah, facts.
So then that's the thing, innit? I would say on paper, but yeah, Barcelona is a tough prospect, but I would say they would be favorable over us, given their pedigree and what they're capable of doing. But then you don't know. You can get one Barcelona that we might beat 4-0, like we beat Atletico Madrid. We never thought that would happen.
Right.
And then the next game, they might turn up and put 6 past us, hopefully not. So I guess it just remains to wait and be seen what happens.
My thing
is, if we beat Barcelona, we should go on and win it.
That's what I was gonna say. If we beat Barcelona, we should be going on to win it. And to what you said, my concern is this: if we do the same thing that we've been doing, where we get one goal and sit back and say we beat Barcelona 1-0 and we had to stink it out. If that Barcelona shows up that played Atletico Madrid off the park that should have won 6-0, they're gonna dog walk our ass. Because we cannot this score and sit back and play defense. We can't be doing that against that Barcelona team. Pedri will rip that midfield apart like it's no tomorrow. Pedri will rip it up, and not just him. Lamine Yamal is going to teach that whole team that the ball's round and not square. If we sit back and try to let these guys fucking do whatever they want, we ain't got no. We are not going to be able to go goal for goal with them the way Inter did in the semifinal last year. It's not happening. We gotta, if they don't show up, we gotta beat them like 4-5-0. At least try to do it, because I do not trust us against Bar. And to be honest with you, it goes the same way as Atletico. I'll be completely honest with you. It goes the same way as Atletico. If Atletico, I do not like the fact that we let Lookman get away. For 35 million euros, I thought Lookman was a steal and we should have just bought him. But the way that they've been playing, they look pretty damn. Atletico looks pretty good. And if Atletico can get over Barca, I wouldn't put it past Atletico that they could potentially be a problem too for us to handle. But definitely Barca more so. Quaja, same question to you. How confident are you for us to get to the semifinals? And then what's your feeling on us possibly winning it?
The thing with the Champions League is, right, when it comes to the crunch moments, we crumble, and it happened against PSG last season. I mean, yes, we beat PSG, in the group stages, but when it mattered in the crunch moments, we crumbled. And I expect to see a different Arsenal from last season. Crunch moments, you turn up, because we can all beat Leverkusen and all this one. But when it's the crunch moments and the players don't turn up, that's a worry for me. That's the biggest concern for me, Gianni. And I feel like the pressure is onto this manager. I think we can beat Leverkusen on both legs. However, we cannot be 1-0 up and just sit back. You gotta
No, we gotta beat them, because the second game against Leverkusen is right before the League Cup final.
Yeah.
We can't fucking barely beat them. We gotta put it away in the first game.
Yeah. First game, just seal it first. Like PSV last season when we thrashed them 7-1. When
Facts.
I know this is irrelevant, but I'm using this as an example.
Mhm.
Do what you did against PSV last season, 7-1, thrash them. And second leg, if you can get a draw, that's fine. But I want to see a performance. I don't want to see 1-0s and all that. Because if it finishes 1-0, the second leg's going to be not good. It's going to be a bit shaky. So we better get at least 3, 4, 5. Because as far as I'm concerned, we cannot play what we're doing right now. I believe we can win. However, we need to change the style of play. I feel like the Champions League is a good opportunity for us to win. However, if we get Barcelona, we need to improve on that midfield because Pedri is going to run rings around Zubamendi, who we all know he's a big liability in that midfield. He is making Declan Rice helping him, running back, running all that on fumes. And I'm like, Zubamendi, imagine him getting the ball and Fermin Lopez, either Pedri, Rafinha, dispossess the ball off him, and then they punish us. That midfield is going to get wide open, right? Pedri is is the best midfielder in the world. I don't think there's any debate about it. I think Pedri's a very good player. He starts over Zubamendi. He gets into our team all day long. He starts over Zubamendi. If we had Pedri and Rice together, that midfield would be cooking. But as far as I'm concerned, we need to just get over the line in the round of 16, the quarterfinals. But Top Gooners are saying, we're in the final. We're in the final. We haven't even played yet. How can you say you're in the final when you haven't even played yet? You could lose the round of 16. You could get knocked out any moment. So don't get carried away. I just want us to get over the line in the round 16, finish the quarterfinals off, and then into the semi-finals. I want to see us play proper football, going toe-to-toe with Barcelona, a very good side, a very good manager, and people are going to talk about this high line that Barcelona play, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. I just don't know why they talk about this high line. I mean, let's be real. They play good football with Yamal, Rafinha. Nkappi's got to do better because Yamal versus Nkappi is going to be a big battle, and Timber versus Rafinha is going to be a big battle as well. And it's the key for if we face Barcelona in the semi-final. Yeah, Yamal is indeed. It's the midfield battle because Declan Rice is the only midfielder that is surrounded by average midfield players. Except Eze, you got Zubamendi. He's mad average, bro. I just don't rate Zubamendi. For me, he's boring to watch. Every time I'm seeing him, he's just sideways football, and I'm like, he's a sideways merchant. That's what he is. If you had played Norgard, then it would have helped because Norgard can. Maybe Norgard's not good in the Champions League, but give him a chance, or put Skelly in midfield. I think Skelly would do a job in midfield. I think Rice and Skelly in midfield. I think that would work because guess what? Skelly is good at retaining the ball and he's good at tackling. Zubamendi's not good at tackling. Let's be real with it. He can't even make a tackle to save his own life. And I'm like, come on, bro. I
think Zuby's a decent player. I think the problem is it's the manager with what he wants to do. Because, like I said, I've seen Zubamendi play a lot more forward passes and get a lot more creative as a holding midfielder when I saw him at Sociedad than this. I think this is the manager. Again, it's him sabotaging his players to play this nonsense. That's just my opinion. I don't think he's that bad. I actually think he's been better than what I thought he was going to be as far as the goal scoring. He's not good defensively. We all knew that coming into the season. Macy, what's your opinion? How are you expecting at least a semifinal like everybody else is saying, and then we see what happens, or do you think we can get all the way to the final?
I mean, I agree. I mean, the semifinals is our only chance, but I still think we're not going to win the Champions League. And for us, I mean, facing Bayer Leverkusen would be a bit of a challenge for us because we've got to go to Germany first up because German fans are they're very loud and they're very hot-tempered when it comes to their teams losing. So Leverkusen away is going to be a bit tricky for us, but I still think we'll be able to get one goal and take that to the second leg in the Emirates, and there we will absolutely destroy them in the second leg. But coming to that point, going to the semi-finals, I think we'll do that. But I just think in my mind, we're not winning the Champions League because look at Barcelona, look at Bayern Munich, and Real Madrid as well. Them three they are chomped up and ready to get their hands on the Champions League. I want us to win that, but it's not going to be easy because you've got other European teams looking to get that trophy. So for me, we will get to the semis, but I just think we're not going to win the Champions League.
Okay. Chike, you're a City fan, so I'll ask you your opinion on City. How far do you think City will go, and how realistic is it for City to win the Champions League, or do you think you may beat Real, but you're not going that much farther?
If we beat Real, I think we win it.
Really?
I actually have done absolutely. I mean, I know we're not the same team as we were a few years ago, but I've alluded to this, and you've also alluded to this, Gianni. The winner of the City Real Madrid game is that's gonna click them. That's gonna get them onto that's gonna push them on in UEFA. And I really do think if City can somehow beat this really bad Real Madrid team, because they're horrendous, by the way. If City can beat this Real Madrid team, I think that'll push them over the edge and get them a lot, I think, and really push them a lot further in the Champions League. And I really do think we can win it, because I don't think there's a clear favorite. I really don't. So that's why I think we'll win it. I don't think there's a clear favorite. I mean, sure, there's the Barcelonas and the PSG.
You think if you beat Real, you think you're knocking out Bayern?
Yes.
Because that's who you would get in the quarterfinal is Bayern.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, listen, I could see it because Bayern. The thing about Bayern that everybody's hyped up is their defense isn't all that. Jonathan Tah's mid. Upamecano's always good for a mistake. Same thing with Kim Min-jae. Their whole team is based on that young kid Pavlovic. However, that right back they have that's been cleaning everything up, that Conrad Leimer's a good fucking player too.
100%.
Depend on him. But yeah, I can see it. I think if you guys get on the other side of the bracket, I think it's Chelsea, PSG, and it's Galatasaray. I think Galatasaray is knocking out Liverpool, if I'm being quite honest. I think that's one of the upsets, in my opinion. I see that as the upset. Along with Bodo Glimt knocking out Sporting. I think those are going to be the two upsets coming into the next round. That'd be interesting, Manchester City versus PSG. That'd be interesting in a semifinal. That'd be a good. How crazy would it be if it's Man City and Arsenal in the final for the Champions League?
Oh God. I mean, I predicted Manchester City, Barcelona.
Yeah, that would be a good final. Pep Guardiola versus his side.
I'm sorry if you guys get Barcelona. Barcelona's crashing you guys.
Yeah. Who cares? I like Barca. I've kind of been a secret Barca fan for the last 10 years.
I've been thinking, I'm imagining if Galatasaray go all the way to the final.
Nah. It'd be awesome. Listen, that would be fantastic for the sport if that happened. That would be the greatest Cinderella story if they made it to the finals. I think it'd be awesome if they did that. But listen, I think they can beat Liverpool because going forward, they have so much offense. And I think Liverpool's offense is so inconsistent, you don't know what turns up. But there ain't a chance in hell I'm betting on Galatasaray to beat PSG. Because I think PSG is going to smoke Chelsea. I think they're going to smoke Chelsea.
Yeah.
And if Chelsea somehow pulls out a victory over two legs on PSG, then don't rule Chelsea out because they could figure out a way to stink their way to another Champions League, as we've seen them do their other two titles.
Yep.
Yeah, because
I just don't think I would love to see Galatasaray go to the final. For the sport alone, it'd be one of the best stories in football since the Leicester City.
Oh yeah.
Galatasaray to go to the final would be fucking awesome. But
100%.
We'll see what happens. But listen, guys, big up to all you guys for hopping on. Big up to everybody
100%.
in the chat. Appreciate it.
I do have one question for you, Gianni.
Go ahead.
So you see in my title, I said, "Let's go Huskies." If we're being realistic, how far do my Huskies men go?
Are you guys ranked in first?
So we're ranked number 4 in the country. So that means we would get one of the 4. We would get one of the 1 seeds. depending if we win out and win the Big East, because there's talk that the Florida Gators may get the final 1 seed because the SEC is quote unquote harder and it's the best league in college basketball. So, fuck that.
That's because of money. I think the Huskies for me are the third favorite. I just don't see a team beating Arizona.
Yeah.
I think Arizona wins college basketball. But listen, everybody, appreciate everybody that stopped by for the conversation today. Appreciate all you
big
guys.
up, man.
Big up.
Johnny, man.
Okay, Ozzy, it's your first time on the channel, brother. Appreciate you hopping on, my guy.
Big up, man.
And yeah, man, that's where we're gonna leave it. I hope all you guys have a great weekend. Hopefully, we get this victory in the FA Cup. And I think I'll be doing a call-in show Sunday for a little sports wrap-up for the week. So if any of you guys are free Sunday, if I decide to do the stream, let me know. Monday I got Kenny Ken for the Who You Would Pay to See.
Yes.
We got Kenny
I
Ken,
can't
the
wait for
Austin
that.
man.
He's gonna have some
Legend.
bad boy players.
Yeah, he will. Yes, he will. So appreciate everybody. Appreciate all the legends in the chat always. Suge, Touchline, Tone, Lynch, Binks, Amakel, everybody that came in. Appreciate everybody. We're out.
Mm-hmm.
Laters.
Take care later.